y'all. In the flesh. Rare sighting. Check this out, y'all. Full spandex. You didn't know I could squat like this now, did you? Oh, look how good I look in this. MJ saw this, she would remember me instantly. She'd go, "Oh, it's him. It's Timothy." One more for you. Oh, my signature move. Hello and welcome, my beautiful movie peeps. It is so nice to see you on a lovely Sunday. I know it's been a while since we've done one of these live spoiler discussions for a movie. And well, it's Spider-Man film. Of course we're going to have to do it for my boy Spider-Man. So this will finally be full discussion. You've heard my thoughts. My spoiler review is up. The editor of the channel, Reed, is currently working on my theories and predictions for Spider-Man 5. That'll be up hopefully tomorrow. But today, it's all about you guys telling me what you thought about Spider-Man Brand New Day. You loved, you hated, your theories, your thoughts, all about you guys. So happy to have you here. So glad all of y'all are included. And, well, should I crack open a bureau? Hey, maybe Tom Holland himself would appear, right? So, Tom, hey, mate, this one's for you. Oh, quite chill. Oh, fuck. Bro, that's how you know this is authentic. Look at that. Look. Can I say they're not bad? I'm really not sponsored, and I'm really not trying to the meat ride Mr. Tom Holland too much. Like, I genuinely like it. It's surprisingly how much I am okay with the taste of those. But hey, maybe Tom will appear and I can get him to sun with me. And together,
the power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
It'll be good. It'll be good. So glad to see all you guys. So, yeah, let's see. I swear it's not an ad at all. Like, okay, the real reason you can't just buy a single pack of these, okay? I had to buy a case, and there's like what, 8 cans in there? You think I'm just gonna use one can for one video? I'm gonna milk these until they're gone. This is like the 3rd can I've opened. Until Tom Holland shows up, I'm gonna keep opening them. There's an audio delay. I'm sorry. Maybe my internet's acting up, but okay. Enough of all that. It is up to you guys to dictate the conversation. We have so many questions already pouring in, and I thank you for that. So let's just start rattling off our thoughts with Spider-Man Brand New Day. Let's pick a lovely photo to begin with, and then we'll mix it around. Oh, I don't like the quality of that. Let's do this one. Bro's looking at sun. There we go. Okay. Let's start out with the first question we have here today. From Smokey K5I says, where does Brand New Day rank in your post-Endgame ranking? What does the post-Endgame movies look like? Post-Endgame Marvel movies. It'd be pretty high up there. I mean, there's always going to be a slight curve and bias because it's a Spider-Man movie, and I love Spider-Man, but, looking at the list of post-Endgame films, okay, so this is what we kind of got. I would say it's definitely in the top 3. I mean, I'm trying to think of, like, what is my favorite post-Endgame movies? I don't even think this is all of them, but it is most of them. I think that one's just missing the Fantastic Four. If I had to pick my favorite you know what? It would be No Way Home because of what it did for the Spider people. Then Guardians, then Shang-Chi, Thunderbolts. No. Okay, wait. Okay, I go No Way Home, Guardians, and then Brand New Day. Shang-Chi, Thunderbolts. Well, actually, Fantastic Four, then Thunderbolts, Deadpool, Wolverine, and then come on, we can't keep keeping on for that's gonna be a hard one. But yeah. I know there's going to be a lot of rankings just because it'd be too much, and I'm still contemplating on whether to do a video. The next question here from Kanto Peaches says, rank all the Spider-Man movies in order from best. Okay, that'd be an extensive, long one. All I could tell you is I think Brand New Day cracks top 4, maybe top 5. I still have, I mean, the Tobey movies, aside from maybe the 3rd one, is still probably the top of the list, and I do think it's fair enough to include the animated movies across and Into the Spider-Verse, which also gets them pretty high up there. But Brand New Day, I can say, is at least above all the TASM movies. And it is my favorite of the Tom Holland series. Although I exclude No Way Home just because that it's just such an event film and it has so many things. But I do like a lot of stuff in Brand New Day that I thought wasn't done all that well in No Way Home. Bro, Tom Holland's not hitting you up. You don't know that. You don't, he might be right now being like, guys, get me 3C's number. All right. Tombstone deserved more than a 5-second cameo. Yes, I think, again, I didn't have all that many negative things to say about Brand New Day, but it is not without its faults. And I think the way they handled a lot of the villains for sure is one of the things with Brand New Day, at least when it came to Spider-Man classic villains. Because, okay, this was some of the concept art. I know Tombstone's not in there, but we had Scorpion, we had Tarantula, we had Boomerang, and they created costumes and looks for all of them, and it did not end up being used. And with how semi-complicated it is to get Kingpin to show up in a Spider-Man movie, Kevin Feige recently said it's not as complicated as you might think. Okay, then why hasn't it been done yet, Hatman? Why hasn't Kingpin shown up with Daredevil? Like, that's an easy movie to make, and you haven't done it. Tombstone could have filled in that role of the crime boss. He could have been the guy to not only also fight Spider-Man, but to hire goons and thugs to beat up Spider-Man. And yeah, it just kind of came and went where it's like, I don't even know if we'll ever get to see those heroes again, right? Or villains, I should say. Friday stream, you skipped my Brand New Day chat at 1:12:40. Okay, buddy, you think I'm going all the way? You could have just said the chat right here, and now you just wasted 2 super chats, Thomas Marin. I don't love you. I don't even know who you are. I just had to MJ you, buddy. I'm sorry. I loved how all the side characters served a purpose in the story and reflected Peter's struggles of balancing both sides of him. Movie felt like an episode of the 90s series. I loved every minute. And see, on my first watch, I had that kind of conversation with myself about, I hate what lately these Marvel movies feel more like setup or introduction to these characters as opposed to focusing on its own story. And while I would not blame some people for having the argument that it's an X-Men setup and Hulk's only there for marketing purposes, this isn't really even a Spider-Man movie. I think, definitely when I watched it the second time, it felt a lot more of like, no, this is a Spider-Man story. This is a story with Spider-Man. He's just set in the world of the MCU and he's playing within that sandbox. There was a lot of things where Hulk's character mirrored his, and that conversation that he has with Punisher, where Punisher is like, you think you're like me, kid? Let me tell you something. If I had one more day with my family, you don't think I'd be out there with them? Like, that goes with him, Spider-Man thinking that he's on the same loneliness level as the Punisher. That's not right. And so that was good to explore all that. And so thematically, I think they did a good job of bringing in these characters, putting in little nuggets for the MCU to further explore, like with the Jean Grey and the X-Men. But I'm glad they never went too far with it. They never say the word mutant. They don't talk about, oh, there's lately been a mutation problem. There's all these people showing up. Or there's this school with a bald man in a wheelchair. Oh, like, they keep it pretty calm in terms of the setup. And I agree with you. I can't wait for Miles, but fans got to stop assuming every black character on screen is Miles. Same with Blonde Woman and assuming it's Gwen. It's bound to happen every single time. Like, I saw it with the person that Jean Grey possesses in the street, where he's like, oh, you all right there, Spider-Man? Looks like I have to go pay MJ a visit. Like, people are legit going, that's Miles. They just showed Miles. The little kid at the end, I don't even know if that little kid is black. He's just ethnically ambiguous, so people go, Miles? That's Miles right there. He just did that, and that means he's Miles. I'm like, guys. As far as the neighbor goes, I'm glad that didn't end up being someone important. It's funny now, looking back at all the rumors and things, not even speculation, but the way some rumors were thrown out there that are like, how is this going to make sense? But it's context missing. Like, do you guys remember when there was a rumor? I remember this, that Punisher was going to have a sidekick in the movie. That was a real rumor going around. Let me see if I can find it. Uh, it was going around that Punisher would have a sidekick. It literally said Punisher in Spider-Man 4 is gonna have a sidekick. His identity's hinted in new rumor. And you're like, you watch the movie and you could see how a scooper or a person who maybe works on set that is leaking information to a scooper could maybe misconstrue that information. Because what did we eventually get? We got that scene. Let's see, Punisher, and it was like a AI photo that ended up being real. Let's see if I can find it. Punisher, Jean Grey. There was a photo going around, and it actually ended up being in the movie when everyone thought it was AI. But it's the scene where Jean Grey, take this one right here. This photo was around online for months, and people were like, AI, it's fake, it's created by Gemini. This photo ended up being real. And this scene, you could see how scoopers could misconstrue it as, oh, Punisher has a sidekick and all, because Jean is forcing him to work alongside him. So even now, it puts a lot more context in the things that we were seeing and hearing about this movie, where they were truthful in the way, but a lot of context was missing to what was actually going on. But that was a funny rumor I remember reading, like, Punisher with a female sidekick. That's weird. And you watch the scene and it makes perfect sense. Yeah, Zesty Punisher is the best, Jack Davis. That was so funny. He's like, good luck with that, Peter. Good stuff. All right, let's go on. Let's see, we have here from Daniel Phillips says, thoughts on Steve Lacy spoiling the Jean Grey. That was funny because I was at the premiere, and this is, again, the way premieres go now. It's awesome that I get to go, and I am very flattered and love it. But it's very organized in the way where, okay, influencers, get on there, get your red carpet photos, get your little TikToks made. At this time, y'all need a skedaddle because the real star's about to walk the carpet. And so that's what's happened the last couple times I've been at a red carpet, right? You don't really get to walk the same carpet as Tom Holland and walk by him. And so instead of, while the real stars are walking, us influencers are just sitting in the auditorium watching a live stream of the interviews go down. So I remember being in my seat waiting for the movie to finally start and all these interviews to be done. And you're just watching Steve Lacy and he's like, what's your favorite theme in the movie? Probably Jean, because she's the villain. And I was just like, like we're literally this close, and now it's officially out there. It was wild. Not familiar with Jean Grey, but to have her kill innocent people and tricking Peter to kiss MJ under mind control is next levels of messed up. And you know what? I don't entirely blame you on that, but there's been a lot of good arguments made where you're like, I guess you're kind of right in that sense. I mean, people bring up Tony Stark, and but that was also his arc in the movie. That was his whole point, is that he regretted the life he was living and wanted to change that. But yeah, before Tony became Iron Man, he was an arms dealer, and his weapons that he created were responsible for a lot of innocent deaths. Probably even more than Jean did in that movie. Then you look at someone like Loki, who has been redeemed through his Loki TV series, when that's the same Loki who did the equivalent of Marvel 9/11, having aliens all over New York, right? And now Wanda, that's one that still gets debated, though, about Wanda. Like, she took over a whole town, mind wiped them, and turned them into slaves and all that. It's like, and now people still love her and want her back. So there are definite characters that have had this like questionable past, or things that they haven't done that hasn't exactly been squeaky clean, and they are still seen as like, okay, the biggest culprit that I will argue is the amount of people that think John Walker deserves Captain America more than Sam Wilson. I'm like, I get liking John Walker as a kind of like, oh, he's a bad guy, but he wants to do better. He's fixing himself. But come on, after what he did and all that stuff, and to say he'd be a better Captain America than Sam Wilson, I'm like, okay, then we got other things to discuss here, okay? So, that's how I think people are seeing the Jean Grey thing. It's like, yeah, and Peter, I didn't catch this. I need to go see the movie for a third time. Peter apparently says at the end, "You haven't killed anyone yet, Jean. Don't do it." I'm like, well, are you sure? Did we check on that sanitation worker? Because he just got hit by a car. If he ain't dead, he's at least paralyzed, right? So maybe I'm not saying John Walker is evil, but I mean in comparison, where he like people adore John Walker to the point like he has squeaky clean past. If you can like John Walker, then you can't be also complaining about Jean Grey. Is what I'm saying. But that could maybe be part of her arc come X-Men. Maybe I keep wanting to say Patrick Stewart, Professor X might sit down with her and say, "What you did set us back. What you did is giving us a bad look, and we have to work to fix that." Okay, mutants are gonna have this long battle, being seen as these things to hate and all that. And what you did in New York does not help us. That could be part of her arc, and maybe it's something they actually address in X-Men, and maybe there's a route for her. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it was definitely a thing when I was also watching the movie. I was like, man, this is just such an odd way to start Jean Grey's story. To be honest, the movie was so good, but they could have swapped out Jean for Mr. Negative instead. And you know what? This is where I actually want to bring up something. Man, it's kind of weird how the movie, and I'm not doing this on purpose, guys. My mouth is just literally getting dry. Oh, mate, that's good. That hits the spot right there. Let me tell you, mate. Oh, sorry. Bureau makes you British. That's the B in Bureau. Anyways, there was this interview with Kevin Feige that I thought was like kind of eye-opening, where I'm like, again, it's a miracle that Brand New Day is as good of a movie as it is when you look at some of the behind the scenes. The movie started filming in August of last year, less than a year's production time to get shooted, filmed, VFX, marketed, and thrown out there. Tom Holland himself saying that he hated the early cuts of the movies and that he thought the test audiences were wrong in some of the things. Here, let me bring it up now. This is what Kevin Feige had to say about when they were working behind the scenes, and I'm like, are you allowed to just say this, Feige? Okay, here we go. Ready?
But that was one of the big development changes that we kept going through, was who is the bad guy. There was one version of a bad guy, then another version of a bad guy, then a version essentially of this bad guy that was revealed to be a very obscure character nobody ever heard of. And it just wasn't satisfying. And that might be what Tom was talking about, because he said, well, what about this character? And I said, well, we can't use this character, but, and knowing that all of the journey that Peter was going on has to culminate in his confrontation with the villain at the end, that's when Jean starts to come up.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it right there. Basically, what Feige's saying is, throughout the course of this movie and figuring out the villain, they had already in their minds, whoever the villain is going to be, it's someone that can control minds, and that this is the story we're going to have. We just can't figure out which character to do that. And now this puts it a lot more into like, I think it was maybe real, some of the rumors we were hearing about, because it wasn't Jean Grey at first. Remember, there was, I forget her name, maybe in the chat you guys could help me out, but there was this, again, like Kevin Feige said, obscure Spider-Man villain that like was part of collecting Spider-Man totems. What was her name? Spider-Man for rumored villain. If I see her photo, I'll know, but I don't remember the name of the villain. But she's like blue, and what was it, guys? You guys see it? Not Silk. It was Mindworm. No, it was somebody else. Let me see what not Jackal. Yeah, Shatra, or a Typhoid Mary. Is that who it is? No, it was somebody that was like connected to Kane, or no, I mean not Kane, Noel. And it was just, yeah, this person, whoever this lady is, this one. And I was like, what? Okay. And exactly, it's not satisfying. Like they had it that it would be an obscure villain reveal at the end, when like not even the hardcore Spider-Man fans would be able to know. So the reveal of who the identity of the mysterious mind person is was not going to be satisfying. And so it makes you really wonder. It's like, okay, like, and they ended up just going with Jean, and she could fill in the role, and they're like, we'll figure out the rest later. It's very weird that that's the route they decided to go on. And again, that is still my number one issue with the Tom Holland movies, is it doesn't feel like he has an arch nemesis. It doesn't feel like he has a villain that he can call his own, because a lot of the villains he ends up being paired with have motivations with other characters or don't feel like traditional Spider-Man villains. So someone said lock in, Chris, come on. Sorry. But yeah, so yeah, it could have been Mr. Negative, and other people pointed out you could have swapped out the Hulk for like a Lizard, a Dr. Connors. He could have maybe have been working like on how to mess with mutant DNA. Maybe in the 4-year gap, he did fight the lizard in his world, but the lizard has got things down with an inhibitor that controls his lizard DNA site that he's stuck with. Like, there are actual Spider-Man characters that you could have replaced in the role, but instead you threw it. Like, you could keep Punisher. He actually does have deep ties with Spider-Man, and his first appearance was in a Spider-Man comic. So it is interesting the way they went about that. All right. Who would you want to be the villain for Spider-Man 5? I mean, I'd really like a Venom. I think if they want to go Matt Gargan, Scorpion, because right now I think Scorpion is the closest thing to an actual arch nemesis for Peter Parker's Spider-Man, just because their history goes all the way back to Homecoming. He's now fought him several times, as we've seen through the flashbacks, and now he has an even bigger vendetta against them because, dude, you just almost killed me, paralyzed me because of your man spider mode, and I wasn't even the one in control of my body. He has a bigger reason to hate Spider-Man. Again, I would like it if they explain it that through that fight that we saw in Brand New Day, maybe like Spider-Man really hurt him, paralyzed him, broke his arm or legs, maybe he's in a wheelchair, and the symbiote gives him his body back, gives him his legs back, gives him this, and the symbiote will also make him more powerful because Spider-Man didn't treat Scorpion like a real threat. Scorpion was basically like a joke villain for Spider-Man. He's throwing pianos at him and just defeating him easily. So for Scorpion to get that upgrade and be Venom, I think would be cool. Morbius, get out of here. Where is Peter getting his income? Great old question. And my goodness, I brought this up in my spoiler review, and the amount of, like, I don't know, reaching or just odd fan theories about it, I'm just like, guys, come on. Let's just say it was a flaw. Again, I understand why they didn't show us where he gets his income. This movie was about he's Spider-Man 24/7. Peter Parker doesn't have a life. For him to show where his income comes from, to that he has a job, that would be Peter Parker stuff. And this movie is trying to avoid Peter Parker existing in the world, right? So I understand why they chose to ignore it, but it's kind of hard to ignore when it's like, well, he has an apartment he's got to pay rent for. He's ordering Little Caesars. He has the latest Samsung flip phone. It's like he's buying flowers for May. He's earning money somehow. It would have been nice just to touch. Now, all right, someone said Tony Stark, remember, gave him funds. Guys, Peter Parker is mind wiped from this reality. So if Tony Stark did have a trust fund for him, or Aunt May had a life insurance plan, he does not have access to it because legally and in the world, Peter Parker doesn't exist. He would have as soon as No Way Home ended, he's on his line to the DMV because he's got getting ID and a new social security and everything because he doesn't exist. So I don't believe he has life insurance from Aunt May because no life insurance policy is going to just hand over money to a person that on paper doesn't exist, and they have no proof that that's his aunt because their relationship doesn't exist anymore. So, okay, Daily Bugle, I would love that, buddy, but they've also said with this movie, Peter working for the Daily Bugle in the MCU doesn't make sense. The Daily Bugle in this world is a fake news propaganda machine. It's not an actual reputable news station. The Daily Bugle is like your woke YouTube channels that are talking about, is Michelle Obama have a penis? Today at 4. That's the Daily Bugle in the MCU right now. Just making up weird fake news, stirring up hate and clicks. Peter morally would never work for a company like that. And not even just to be like, oh no, he wants to keep tabs and you know, throw in, save his reputation. Even Tobey Spider-Man couldn't save his reputation when he worked for J. Jonah Jameson. So morally speaking, it does not work for Peter to work at the Daily Bugle here and to sell pictures because, again, it goes against his moral code to work for a company like that. Again, my headcanon was if he really is dumpster diving and fixing tech, that's where he's getting his money. He every now and then fixes a broken phone, a broken laptop, puts it on Craigslist or whatever app, and then sells that, and that's his money income. That to me is what makes the most sense right now. Someone said bro selling bureaus. Yeah, that's what he's doing on his spare time. Bureau? It's a fine drink, mate. Like if you just it's a hot day and you just want like something nice to sculpt down. Oh bloody hell, that's what you're in for, mate. Tom's never gonna talk to me. All right, let's go here. Chris, by the time Emilio is 10, Holland will have 6 or more movies as Spidey, making him his undisputed GOAT. Gonna be fun debating your kid about that. I mean, you're right. To me, I'm so curious who my son chooses as his favorite superheroes because he has a lot to choose from. My dad's favorite superhero was Batman. And so to me, I didn't like latch onto a hero until I saw Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, and then it was Spider-Man everything. But for all I know, I could show him Incredible Hulk, and he's like, "Oh, I love the Hulk, Hulk everything." I could show him Blue Beetle, and he just loves Blue Beetle everything. But I mean, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to be careful on the first Spider-Man I show him because that might be the one. And if I'm indoctrinating him. I'm showing him Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and I'm telling him, if you don't like Tobey Spider-Man in this house, then you're off to military school. But he might prefer Tom. Punisher was a joke in Brand New Day. Can he be redeemed? I don't think he was a joke. Did he have funny moments and did he make me laugh a good amount throughout it? Yes. But I'm going to be honest with you, and this might be a hot take. So far, PG-13 Punisher is probably my favorite Punisher that we have seen from Jon Bernthal. The more we get of Jon Bernthal's Punisher, the more I'm seeing a rehash repeat formula that is becoming stale and boring. It's weird to say, but Jon Bernthal's Punisher is like super emotional, where it's like he wants to cry every 10 seconds about his family. And granted, that is a big part of the character, but there is a limit to how much he can just be, my mom. Come on. And I also don't think they do enough to show his skilled side, his side where he's tactical, where he's prepared. Brand New Day did show that. He booby-trapped his place of living. He had a ton of tech that Spider-Man could use to fix his inhibitor. This movie actually did more to showcase this Frank Castle actually is, like in his military mind, almost like, a light Batman where he has the steps and things needed to be able to do things. Now, it and also, I don't mind that he got soft with the Punisher, because to me, that was more showcasing who Spider-Man is as a character. You hang out with the Punisher, you're walking off the Brooklyn Bridge at some point at the end of the day. You hang out with Spider-Man, you're happy. You're in a good mood, you're feeling good, because that's the kind of character Spider-Man is. He breaks through those walls. As much as you want to be a grumpy, depressed, sad person, Spider-Man is that type of a character that'll, like, you can't help but to smile to be around. So I like that in a sense. And again, it went to show that Spider-Man shouldn't be this lonely vigilante. He can be more than that. So I've seen the complaints. You're not the only one. I have seen people say they didn't like this interpret. I really dug what they did. He took a nap. Yeah, it was funny. He napped in this one. Maybe that was the big problem. Love the new intro. Keep the whisper and add a moan. Red lights. Sorry about that. Rage Ways just sends in some love. I guess this bureau's hitting, guys. We sure is alcohol free. All right. MJ pulled a Gamora. Being a Peter in the MCU is tough. Since the MCU does things differently, you think Felicia will be his love interest? I would honestly love it. I was thinking about this more and more in when I was leading into my theory video for Spider-Man 5. So small spoilers for my Spider-Man 5 theory video, but I think never has there been a better time to do the Black Cat storyline. I mean, it would even work if, like, let's say in the middle of the movie, Peter's like, okay, MJ's with her boyfriend. She obviously loves him. I can't get in the way with that. We're just friends. Black Cat shows up. It's a love interest for Peter. MJ breaks up with boyfriend, but now Peter kind of has this thing going on with Black Cat. And now MJ's on the other side of that, where it's like, oh, I thought we could be, wrong place, wrong time kind of thing. They do that sometimes with couples in movies, right? Where it's like, oh, you're single, but I'm not. Oh, now I'm single, but you're not. I think Black Cat would be great. And again, because I'm also wondering when it comes to the black suit storyline, which I definitely feel we're going to have the black suit in Spider-Man 5. He's going to get it in Secret Wars and it'll carry over to Spider-Man 5. I feel like that's, unless they just do it in Secret Wars, wipe their hands with it, and then he doesn't get it in his trilogy, would be a waste, but whatever. I'm just like, well, how do you differentiate black suit with Man Spider? Because Man Spider was all about working on anger, doing all these things violently. You got to show a different side of the negative effects of the black suit. So it can't just be angry, violent tendencies, because it'll be too similar to Brand New Day. So what if you play on other negative emotions, maybe like impulses, making the wrong choices, lust, which is not love. What he has with Black Cat is not love, it's lust. So leaning into that, those kind of tropes I think could be interesting if they do that. More people became Spider-Man fans through the Watts trilogy than they did with any other Spider-Man. Biggest solo character ever, even more with Brand New Day. You're not wrong. 100%. We look, guys, what just happened this weekend with Spider-Man. Let's look at it here if we can find it, guys. I think with Discussing Films had a little report of it. What was that? Oh, Anne Hathaway, cool. Right here. Spider-Man Brand New Day actually opened with 927 million worldwide, second biggest opening of all time.
Oh boy, yeah.
That right there is thanks to Jon Watts. I give him a lot of flack, and I have been super critical of those movies, but at the end of the day, those movies are majority loved. And like this viewer is pointing out, a lot of people, including Sadie Sink, who said in interviews, Tom Holland was their first Spider-Man and is the reason some people love Spider-Man. A lot of the younger kids today, Watts is very much to thank for the current success of Spider-Man, because I would say look at DC. You can't just go from making divisive movie, a movie where some people love it, some people hate it, this is that. No, you got to being able to do this on your fourth movie without Toby and Andrew, without the multiverse, because the last three movies were consistent in its quality to most people. They liked them, they enjoyed them. So it's basically a promise now that if you go see a Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, you are going to be enjoyed it because of the brand Watts built. And for all the flack and things I say about Watts, it is true. He's brought the brand up. So yeah, a lot of this is because of Jon Watts. You're absolutely right. Was Cindy Moon in class? I saw people saying that. Is this again just another situation of Asian girl, so must be this Asian character? Is that what we're doing? Was her name actually Cindy? Maybe that'll actually, I'll give you that little step forward. I don't remember. But to me, again, with all this, I'm just like, I don't know. Same thing with like the blonde girl at the apartment. No, that's not Cindy Moon. Yeah, like her name was Cindy. Okay, you know what? So then I'll give it to you a little more. I think it's more believable than the random black person on the street is Miles Morales, just because they match the skin color of Miles. At least this person has the name Cindy, but even then, okay. Is the $2 billion now a chance? I definitely think it is, and I think a big reason the $2 billion is a chance with this movie is because they're going to have an opening in China. They are going to be able to show this movie in China. It's going to have IMAX screens. It's going to be a big draw in the money, and No Way Home did not have the IMAX screens or China at all in that sense. So, yeah, $2 billion is very possible. I'm like, we're even talking the possibility, and I know this sounds crazy, but it is real. Spider-Man Brand New Day could end up making more money than Doomsday. I think there is a pour-over effect where Brand New Day is so enjoyed and loved by people that it's going to add hype to Doomsday, so it'll work in its favor. I think when it's said and done, there is a real chance Brand New Day could be more of a moneymaker than Doomsday. I know some of y'all think like, nah, but hey, I see it. Are you upset Punisher didn't kill anyone at all? No. Because we had very clearly who the villains were, and Punisher is just a person who kills bad people. That's been established, and so he did try to kill Jean Grey, and through Punisher's code, he did have in his right to do it, because he was seen, hey, you just controlled a bunch of people in the city. You got these people to shoot each other. You just had a guy run over on the street. You have hurt enough innocent people to meet the code of me killing you. So no, I don't mind that he didn't kill anybody. He was trying to. Destin Watts Raimi Webb. All right, buddy. Now here's where you need to put your can of bureau down. All right, we're sipping a little too much. I still go Raimi. Then I'm gonna go. Oh, see, that's hard because I think Mark Webb, did as good of a job as Destin did with handling the emotions of the character. All right, I think Webb is underrated, and that's one of the reasons he got the job is because of his movie 500 Days of Summer, because it shows he knows how to handle characters and those emotional elements. But for now, I'm gonna go Raimi, Destin, Webb, Watts. My opinion. My opinion. Jean not being able to control Hulk or Peter either because of memory wipe spell or mutations. I think it's because they both remember PP. Hey, I remember my PP every morning. I wake up and I go, oh, there he is. Oh, there he is. A grown man just did that in a Spider-Man costume. Let's sit with that for a second. Actually, I was thinking about that because that was another complaint, and I didn't mention my spoiler review. I was like, they never really explained why Peter is immune or able to, push Jean out of his mind. But then Hulk did kind of do that. He pushed Jean out of his mind eventually. Punisher was not able to do that. So I think the explanation is if you have a superpower, if you are a superpowered person, you have more of a chance to fight Jean off in your mind because you have that superhuman ability. At least that's the way I'm seeing it. Because again, it was odd that there was never a clear explanation for why Spider-Man could do that. So no, I don't think it has anything to do with the memory spell or this and that. I just think it's they're a powerful individual. Jean right now is only barely learning how to use her powers, and they showed she got an upgrade by the end of this movie because she gained her telekinetic abilities, which she didn't have until she finally went Super Saiyan. So I think it's just a situation of superpowered people are hard for her to control because they're powered. I don't know. We'll see. Did you spot Mayor Fisk poster on the dumpster? Not when watching the movie, but I've seen people post a picture online. Kind of cool. It just would be nice to have Fisk in there, but even if he does show up, he can't be mayor anymore. Daredevil Born Again already kicked him out. He's hated by the city. I don't know. They're have really exhausted Wilson Fisk to if he finally shows up in a Spider-Man movie, it's going to be like, bro, what are you doing here? Saw the movie and it made me laugh to see Frank wearing Spider-Man mask and acting as a gorilla. What were your thoughts? I loved it because I don't know what it is with John Bernthal's iteration. He loves to growl like an animal. So him having the mask and doing that was one of the funniest things. I laughed at it. I thought it was funny. I have trouble understanding is how Jean is from 616 universe when they aren't supposed to be mutants in the MCU. How will they explain this? Honestly, great point, Dumpling. Because I think they barely are now. Oh, they're starting to pop up in our universe, and it's that thing where any fan can come up with a theory, and you're just like, sure, it really doesn't matter after the end of after Secret Wars, because technically you could say they showed up with Namor's character, and he's been around since then, since he's classified as a mutant in the comics. Some people say with Kamala Khan, with Miss Marvel, because she's now classified as a mutant and things like this. It was just a way of hey, let's just throw them in there because by the time Secret Wars happens, we're going to reboot this timeline in a way that the mutants were always here and we could just pop them into the Xavier Mansion and go from there. So, yes, I agree with you. It doesn't entirely make sense since mutants have been so absent from the world for all of a sudden Jean's just here. And mutants are starting to show up. Wanda and Quicksilver, though, are not exactly mutants because they're mutate. They weren't mutants, and through experiment, their mutant abilities came out. Similar to how Spider-Man is classified as a mutate because the spider that bit him gave him that ability. all this is, again, it's not even going to matter after Secret Wars because they're just going to say, oh, the mutants were always here. Do you think at the end when it said Spider-Man will return, do you think it meant Tom Holland or maybe Toby? That's the vagueness of the post-credit scene. It could be Toby. It could be Miles. It could be Andrew. I'm going to go with it's all of the above, honestly, because I think Secret Wars will include Toby, will include Andrew. Wouldn't be surprised if Miles they want to throw in there, but we know most definitely from all the rumors that Toby is looking to be the Spider-Man we next see, and that'll be in Doomsday. What villain would you like to see in Spider-Man 5? Love your content, Chris. Thank you so much. To me, again, Matt Gargan as Venom. If not that, Mr. Negative with a soft introduction of Miles. Have Peter working at Feast in honor of Aunt May. Have him have a job there. And then again, Mr. Negative is running things there. Things get fishy. So it'd be Matt Gargan Venom, Mr. Negative. If not, and I know this is redundant, bring back Vulture and Shocker. Bring back Boomerang, Tarantula. Set up your own mini little Sinister Six. Just do it. I would not mind Vulture back. Especially because, again, one of the reasons he was okay with Spider-Man at the end of that movie of Homecoming is because of the Peter Parker side of Spider-Man. That Peter Parker side is gone. And even though Spider-Man did save his daughter, he even said it in the car scene where he's like, and I'm grateful you did that, but out of line and mess with my business, I have to kill you. So he's already established, although Spider-Man has saved his daughter, he's still going to kill him if he gets in his way. So you remove the Peter Parker side of Vulture's mind, he just hates Spider-Man, and once he gets out of prison, he'd be ready to go after him again. So yeah. What do you think the post-credit scene meant? I think, again, it was vague enough that it can mean any Spider-Man. So Spider-Man is still in New York, that's Tom Holland, but then out in space, a new one appears. Some people say it's Miles because the thing glitches in a way similar to the stuff that glitches in the Spider-Verse movies. It's more than likely Toby because he is a different variant Spider-Man that's showing up in Doomsday. When I say different variant, I mean different than Tom Holland's. Or it could be Andrew. I feel so bad for, honestly, same. There was not really a closure to Bruce's story in this. And I mean, Tom should know how messed up that is, that all this happened. And he's just going to be sent to a psych ward or prison. And I think that'll be the explanation in Doomsday for why the Hulk probably isn't in the story until Secret Wars, is because he's locked in some high-tech facility because of what just happened. But yeah. I think Dee Wolf will die in the next film because in the comics, when she dies, Eddie Brock tries to figure out who killed her and gets mad at Peter for figuring it out and embarrassing him. See, that'd be a great, storyline and setup there. Yeah, if they want to bring Eddie Brock into this somehow, sure. But yeah, definitely Dee Wolf is dying, dude. Like, the way they had her in that movie, I'm glad they didn't do it in this film. Because it would have been too soon, and we didn't know her enough for that to actually be impactful. But the way in this movie, every time we see DeWolf, she's nice, she's caring, she's sweet to Spider-Man, and oh, my 2 kids and I'm a loving mother are here too. Hey guys, wouldn't it suck if I took a bullet someday? Yeah. Spider-Man says hi, by the way. Get your backpack, mijo. Classic 101 setting up a death scenario, dude. So she's definitely dying. How you feel about MJ's new BF? Somehow getting the symbiote. I mean, if they did it in a way to not reveal his how do I say it? His identity. Because I think in the credits, he's just listed as the boyfriend. So if they wanted to, he could be Eddie Brock. If they wanted to, he could be Harry Osborn. If they wanted to, he could be, I don't know, somebody else, right? But honestly, I don't think he needs to be a major villain. He could just be an obstacle that gets in Peter's way of getting MJ. But, I mean, if you want to see him get the symbiote, sure. Spider-Man Brand New Day is the best Tom Holland Spider-Man, hands down. What do you think? The way they seamlessly integrated all the characters and storyline, the mature themes, and Peter Parker asking the big question about himself. Yeah, the maturity of this movie is what really was refreshing and nice, because I had some people saying, I guess that was the vibe. They felt like the Tom Holland trilogy was geared more towards children. And you can take that to offense or whatnot if you want, but to me, this made me look at Tom Holland's Spider-Man as an adult. It made me see him as someone who could actually be the mentor for somebody else. And so I love that part of it. Yeah, I agree with all your points. Sorry, the bureau's bubbly. Hey Chris, did you see that Chad Meeks himself, Mason Gooding, likes Spider-Man Brand New Day, red carpet premiere photos, and even follows you? Yeah, I don't want to put Mr. Mason Gooding on the spot too much, but he has been one of the nice people that's reached out to me personally and says, "Hey, I like your stuff. Keep doing what you're doing." And I'm always like, "What? You watch me, dude? What? No, you don't need to." I still want to see his Netflix movie with Kevin Hart, see if that's any good. But yeah, I'm so honored that someone like that watches me. And I will say somebody else who is not directly famous, but they are related to somebody famous. And they were like, "Yo, bro, love what you do. You're great. You're all that." And they were like, "I can get you on the set of this movie if you want." And I was like, "That would be a dream. Can you actually make that happen?" He's like, "Yeah, Dad's in the movie." And I was like, "Oh." So I'm trying to see if I can get that. I've already DM'd the person, they haven't responded. But hey, maybe we can have it happen. I'm not gonna blow up too much just in case it's a false promise and I won't be able to get it happen. But it's been surprising me more and more. Like I've gotten that a lot too, where it's like the sons of celebrity um hit me up and they're like, "I like what you do. I'm the kid of this actor." And I'm like, "Oh crap. It's pretty fun." All right. Would you want MCU Silk? She was in Hulk's lecture. I mean, if they can make her interesting and compelling in the story, sure. To me, I'm more focused on it's time we give Peter his classic characters. It's time we introduce the Osborns. It's time we have a Gwen Stacy thrown in there, a Black Cat. He has a classic villain that feels more connected to him. I'm not interested in something like a Silk or another X-Men character or things like that. Like, I just want this Tom Holland to start getting some of his classic characters, you know? Is MJ gonna be in Spider-Man 5, or do you think she? Oh no, she's definitely in Spider-Man 5. Like Tom Holland and Zendaya just have so much star power as a couple right now. Sony would be crazy not to include them in the movie. The way I think it's best gonna be though is just is Peter is part of a friend group where he has to unfortunately constantly see the woman he loves on the arms of another person. And that other person also happens to be one of the best friends of his best friend, which is double conflict. You know, he's going to have to try to force himself to play nice with somebody that he doesn't internally like. I think there's good conflict and setup there for stuff. So they're definitely having MJ back in the next one. Can you say hello to David, please? Hola, David. How you doing, buddy? Spider-Man 2 suit versus Brand New Day suit. Ooh. I mean, I know there's small differences. The Sam Raimi suit to me is the same all throughout. So if we're just saying Sam Raimi suit versus Brand New Day suit, I'm still going Sam Raimi suit. But finally, because I'm sorry. Tom Holland Spider-Man suits never made it even in like my top 5. Which is weird to say because like the other characters barely even had other costumes. I never loved the Tom suits until now. Now this suit makes it, I think, into the top 3. It says, "No, you're insane." Hey, that's just me, man. I didn't like no Iron Spider. I didn't like no Night Monkey. I didn't like the Homecoming suit. Before this suit, my favorite one was the No Way Home red and black suit because they finally got rid of some of the detail on the belt and it was a lot more cleaner suit. But even then, not that big a fan. No, the bias is not crazy. That is just how good the Andrew Tasm 2 suit is and the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man suit is, guys. Come on. You cannot look at the Homecoming suit and think all those extra lines and black pieces on it actually made for a fire look. Come on now. Let's be real now. But this suit, oh, gorgeous, gorgeous. And I can't wait to see what the suit for Spider-Man 5 will be because it's a small line and they do say it at the end. Punisher tells Spider-Man, "Hey, kid, sorry, the bullet, we had to cut through the suit." That right there. So Spider-Man's got to make a new suit from scratch. Sure, he could use his fabricator just to build the same suit he was already wearing. But to me, that's more of a line and indication. Next movie, new suit. I think as long as they work off this and they don't go too crazy with more details, all I would do is maybe thicken up the webbing, raise it a little bit more. This suit is honestly so perfect. I'd rather they keep it. I think the only thing they could do is finally get rid of the web shooter part, right? I don't know. Just my thoughts. What's the most saddest scene in the film for you? Man, it has to be either Tom seeing MJ, I mean it's Peter seeing MJ kiss her boyfriend and him running the rooftops and like contemplating just dying. That's what he's thinking. He's just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be Peter, and he's just free falling in pain, getting to his apartment all sad and broken. That or Gene tricking him that he was kissing and got MJ back. Because that is heartbreaking. The way Tom sells that scene of like, you figured it out. I missed you so much. Like, oh, dude. And then to hear like, yeah, touch your Peter. Oh, dude. Those two scenes for me. The VMAX scene also was pretty sad. But with my Spider-Man bias, I'm going with the other two. But the VMAX scene is also up. That'd be top 3. I'm a little concerned for Punisher. Let's switch up the image a little bit. We've been on this one too long. I'm a little concerned for Punisher. What's going to happen after this movie? Will they disband his arc and go back to blasting or nerf him? How can you nerf a guy who's already human? What have they done? If anything, they have buffed the Punisher. This is a guy who took down like 80 people in a building that were trying to kill him. They have done the opposite of nerfing John Bernthal's Punisher. But you do bring up a good point. And I am also curious what the future of the MCU looks like post Secret Wars, because we talked about the Wonder Man cancellation, right? Part of me does think it's because Destin is so busy. He's going to be doing Naruto. He's going to jump into Spider-Man 5, all these other projects. They just don't have time for that. But I also believe Kevin Feige is slowing down entirely on the Disney Plus content. And I think with the low viewership that Daredevil has, the low viewership Wonder Man has, and I don't know how much viewership Punisher got, but I bet you it wasn't all that high either. I think he sees, okay, it's either we have these characters in movies or they just don't show up at all. So I think we work towards a Midnight Suns, and Punisher is included in that sense alongside a Ghost Rider and a Doctor Strange if they want to do that. Or let's just do R-rated content. Let's work towards a Blade and let's give a Punisher movie. Let's get a Daredevil movie that's rated R. Let's start doing some of that new stuff in there, Feige. Hey, Chris, me and my wife love your videos. I just have a question on why you didn't like the bath scene. I felt it was perfect and didn't go on too long. Still love you, son. It just felt ridiculous to me. It felt a little odd. I get it. Yelena is quirky and funny, and I do love those aspects of Yelena. I just felt like the scene, I don't know. It felt to me like the equivalent of getting Jessica Alba naked in the early Fantastic Four movies. Let's find a way to show some good cleavage of Black Widow. It's just like, it felt like an outdated trope. But then again, there's some people that have reversed that and go, yeah, they did that, but not for Yelena. For Tom Holland, they slutted him out. But I'm like, there was already so many scenes in the movie where they actually, with actual sense, got Tom to be shirtless. I mean, the scene where he comes out of the cocoon, that's a perfectly logical, within the movie explanation for him to be shirtless and show off his crazy body. So I don't know. To me, it was that in a sense. It was just that I'm like, this felt like some of them odd Marvel humor, and I just felt like it could have been more making sense of the world. That I like the idea that Spider-Man does have a relationship with the new Avengers, and that he does bring them intel, and it doesn't make sense for Spider-Man to deal with small potatoes when it's like, this guy can handle big potatoes, all right? But I think it just would have been cooler. And imagine that as a trailer shot, Spider-Man swinging past Avengers Tower or landing in Avengers Tower to talk to Yelena. And like I said, if you really badly want her naked and in a hot tub, I totally believe Yelena would install a hot tub in her Avengers Tower office. Do the scene there. I don't know. That's just me, but you're not alone. A lot of people love that scene, and I get it. Brand New Day has the best modern Spider-Man storytelling of the Tom movies, and the Andrew movies minus the Gwen death. Cried so many times during this movie. Yeah, I got teary-eyed a couple of times. They did a good job with that, man. It was Tom seeing MJ, Peter seeing MJ kiss the boyfriend, that scene where he gets faked out. It didn't make me cry, but I definitely felt emotional for Jean Grey's character when you find out what VMAX is. Do you think they will do Black Cat with black suit next? That would be the best way to do it. I mean, also just the color pairing on that, the black suit, Black Cat's outfit. And you know, maybe Tom actually that would also there we go. That's another thing you could explore because I'm trying to see you can't just do the angry, violent tendencies again. What if Black Cat convinces Tom or Peter Spider-Man to take a little for himself? It's like, hey, Spider-Man, you save the city all the time. You don't get any money for it. These Avengers, they live in a tower, they live in a penthouse. You can't earn anything. Let's go to this jewelry store and take a couple hundred, pay for what you need. Maybe he falls, it's a bad influence on him. Maybe he actually does, like, I do need to pay my rent. Like, I don't know. Like, it'd be interesting that maybe he starts doing the bad things, you know? Hopefully Scorpion comes back as a bigger threat in the future. Only having him in 2 scenes after all these years was really. I agree. I agree, man. Especially knowing how great of an actor Michael Mando is and seeing him in Better Call Saul. It's like he's wasted talent. That's why I'm like, I really want him to see him as Venom. Because I feel like he'd have a really something cool to do with that. But yeah, if this is the end, because again, Spider-Man movies don't like to repeat so much from the past. If this is all we see as Scorpion, it will be very disappointing. Wish the Hulk fight was a bit longer, but great movie. Also great Brand New Day content. To me, it's not even that the fight was longer. I was just hoping for at least one more Hulk fight. I was hoping there'd be like one fight in the beginning. Spider-Man's like, okay, I need to rethink my strategy of going up against this guy. Fights him one more time. But yeah, it was really a one and done, and a lot of it was shown in the trailers. Told Joe is hungry. You brought me to him, and he says he loves 3C collab. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. I thought the symbiote would be teased. I thought so too, but I'm honestly very happy they didn't. Like, I really thought VMAX was going to be the symbiote in some weird way, or that, you know, that was the code in the MacGuffin. I don't know how that would have connected to Jean's sister, but I was like, I'm sure the movie will explain it. Honestly, very happy. The movie was juggling enough. It had enough characters. It had enough villains. It had enough things going on. To introduce a symbiote, sure, it would have been a hype moment, and sure, it would have been a, oh, but the movie had enough. I'm actually glad they didn't do that. And maybe they'll just let Secret Wars set all that up. That way they don't have to deal with it in the films. If Spider-Man 5 doesn't have Frank or Daredevil, I'll be sad. I'm very curious now because it feels like you could easily have Frank come in there for like a scene or two, even in the beginning of Spider-Man 5. And Daredevil as well. It's like, sure, we saw Matt Murdock, but like, how about we see him in costume helping Spider-Man? That'd be great. But oh well. I hope my predict for Spider-Man 5 is included in Daredevil and Black Hat. Plus, I'm tired of all these confused rumors from the last year's thoughts. To me, I'm like, Black Cat seems more likely. Daredevil, I just don't know. Because I was watching an interview with Amy Pascal and Kevin Feige, where somebody did ask him that. Maybe it was Josh Horowitz, where he was like, "When are we gonna see Daredevil in it?" And Amy Pascal literally goes, "We already did Daredevil." She says it in a way where it's like, "We already did that. We don't need to do that again." It's like, you didn't do Daredevil. You had Matt Murdock in the movie, but you didn't do Daredevil. Him catching a brick is not enough Daredevil in a Spider-Man movie. But I saw that interview and I was like, Amy makes it sound like she's done with Daredevil. Movie was great, but was sort of disappointed in the end credit scenes. People saying, but Daredevil's in jail. I mean, by the time Spider-Man 5 comes out, Daredevil would have had his season 3. You thinking he's staying in jail the entirety of that season? No, bro's definitely getting out by the end of that season, setting him up to be available for Spider-Man 5. Movie was great, but was sort of disappointed in the end credit scene. Was expecting something less ambiguous and connecting to Doomsday, since there hasn't been much buildup. What do you think is happening? I just think because they're probably waiting on some of the reception with Doomsday, and honestly, don't be surprised when Secret Wars gets delayed, guys. Because they haven't started filming anything of that movie yet, and that comes out next December. Which, you know, if you look at the way they made Brand New Day, they could probably make that, but. I just think they left it so ambiguous because even they don't know exactly what they're doing just yet. And that just leads them with like, well, you know, we're including another Spider-Man variant, so let's just have the credit scene tease that. This might be a stretch, but I think Hulk remembers Peter because in Endgame, there's a scene where Bruce is looking at who blipped, and on screen it shows Peter, since scene is an Endgame trailer as well. I mean, I guess, but like to me, that's not enough of a connection to bring the Hulk down from Hulk to Bruce Banner. You got to have a deeper connection, relationship. I mean, look at the way they built up the Black Widow and Bruce Banner thing. Like they were almost a love connection, and that's why Black Widow was always able to bring the Hulk down. Just seeing a guy's mugshot of like, oh, that kid disappeared, crazy. I don't think that's enough for the Hulk to go, oh, kid from Endgame trailer. Oh, Hulk suicide now. Oh, I don't know. It's just what they had to do. Chris, love from Turkey. You think the neighbor that Peter sees in the elevator is the Gwen Stacy? Nah. No, if they want to do that, sure. I just think it was really there to show that Peter has no interest in human interaction or a love interaction. And the romantic in him kind of waiting for MJ, hoping that maybe in the future she does remember, because that was in his later. He was like, until you remember, I'm just going to be Spider-Man. So the fact that he saw just the smallest interest that a girl had for him, he was like, I got to get out of here. Kind of admirable. Me, I would have been like, room 307, 7 o'clock? Cool. Bring Little Caesars. Do you plan on replacing Tom Holland when he gets tired of the role? I think it's what the fans want. No, again, I hear the way Amy Pascal and the people at Sony talk about Tom Holland. They want to milk him for as long as they can and do multiple trilogies. I think the way they do it is this will be Tom's last trilogy. By the end of his trilogy, I definitely think they introduce or pass the baton to Miles. Then the live action Spider-Man movies will be Miles focused. And with the way they spread these out, it will be like 7-8 years of Miles Morales movies. After that, Tom will maybe had enough of a break. He's done enough other things that he will want to pop back in the role and he could have another trilogy. I think they're honestly going to try to keep Tom as long as he wants to. And if he doesn't want to, they're just going to give it to Miles for a while. Okay. Why couldn't Jean go to Spider-Man for help? I mean, why didn't Jean go to the Avengers? Why didn't Jean go to anybody? Because who would believe her? You know, you bring up a good point. Like, why didn't she just go to somebody for help? She doesn't trust anybody. She has trust issues. Her own mother abandoned her. Why would she trust any other person, right? She only had her sister, and also Damage Control are technically good guys in her eyes, and they stole her sister. So in her mind, going to an Avenger, going to a Spider-Man, she would just think they're going to report me to Damage Control and I'll be taken away. So I think there was enough of that with Jean where it's like, yeah, she can't trust anybody. If she needs to do anything, she's got to do it herself. I'm going to watch this movie again next week. I kind of want to watch it one more time too. If I didn't have my a kid and all these other things I got to do on the channel, man, old me would be watching. Already would have been on my 5th rewatch. But takes a lot to be out of the house for a couple hours and leave the baby alone. End credits scene. Could mean that Toby shows up in Doomsday. It didn't say where Spider-Man will return, and it looked like it was outside of Earth 616. I definitely think they could make it a Toby reference. I mean, I know for sure, at least I feel like I'm willing to put 99% certainty that Toby is in Doomsday. I think the post-credit scene is Toby and the ship he's on after his world blows up. Maybe with Wolverine, Loki, Deadpool, not just a Spider-Man floating. Definitely could be. Thoughts on post-credit scene? Man, a lot of post-credit scene talk. Like, literally, like these people say, it's vague enough that Marvel can make it mean whatever. If I had to put money on it, it means Toby. I really, really hope they set up Hobgoblin in the future. I have a theory. I'm not going to say it here because I've already given enough stuff. But when my video's finally done of my theories and predictions for Spider-Man 5, there is enough clues and setup that some of y'all might think I'm joking and reaching, but there were clues and setup with Ned for his Hobgoblin turn. What happened with the devil symbol on the tank? Literally was just a, like, that's the other thing. It's funny how we were speculating and thinking so hard on certain things. That tank maybe did belong to the Hand, maybe Mr. Negative and his crew out there, Craven, anybody. But at the end, it didn't matter who it belonged to because Sadie just needed somebody who owned a tank because she wanted to swoop into Damage Control thinking she could save her sister. So Yeah, we did never really got told who or what the symbol was, but at the end of the day, it didn't matter for the movie because it was just the thing Jean needed to be able to get into that building. Why was there no Punisher merch for this movie? I think maybe the R-rated character with Spider-Man stuff, that's still iffy. I mean, I did the whatchamacallit, the merch hunt, and I guess you're right, because the McFarlane statue I found was actually for his one shot. I'm pretty sure there will be a Hot Toys, and that's more geared towards adults. I think it's just that iffy thing of like it's hard to sell toys of R-rated characters now, even though it's only adults buying these toys now. Finally caught you live and wanted to say thank you for what you do. Been here since the No Way Home days, and you're seriously the best. You've got such a charm, and that makes the day easier, guys. Stop. You're so nice. Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you so much for saying that. All right. I actually think Ned received his memory. He remembers the complicated secret handshake and didn't notice Cindy, aka, and did you notice Silk again? If that's Silk, sure, but I really don't think it'll mean anything, guys. As far as the Ned thing, I am so shocked that this has become such a widely debated and theorized thing about what Ned's felt at the end. 100%, 1000% guarantee you, when Brand New Day comes out, he does not have his memory. When Brand New Day, when Spider-Man 5 comes out, he does not have his memories. He does not remember the life with Peter, but he will probably talk about that with Peter. He'd be like, so we were best friends? What was my favorite food? Is that still my favorite food? What's my favorite color? Wow, you really do know a lot about me. That's great. Like, he's going to be that. He's going to be asking him so many questions about their past life, but he doesn't remember it at all. As far as the handshake go, I really do think that's as easy as muscle memory. And if you watch the scene, he's not even confident with the shake. He's following Peter's lead. And also, who's to say that handshake is only for Peter? I think a real part of what could set up the divide between Ned and Peter in the following movie is I think Ned could easily be as best friends with MJ's boyfriend as Peter. And he's like, hey, this guy's my best friend too now. I need you to be nice to him. Peter does something mean or messed up to him. That could cause a divide with Ned. Oh, but who's to say Ned doesn't have that handshake with that boyfriend? Right? So to me, at the end, it's not so much that he remembers. It's just him connecting the dots. And again, when you watch movies, you've seen enough movies like me, you pay attention to the clues and details that they did. They didn't just do that scene for no reason where MJ tells Spider-Man as he's leaving their window, be careful, Peter. And then they linger on Ned to say, Spider-Man's name is Peter? They didn't do that scene for giggles or for nothing. That is so you have the setup for the end of the movie for him to connect the dots and go, Peter, Peter, because you're the Peter that's Spider-Man. That's it. That's all it is, guys. I'm not taking any more fan theories on this because I'm ready to just punch the next person with it. The craziest theory I saw was that when Jean did her whole freeze of the people in the city and MJ and Ned are there, that when MJ is crying is because Jean is putting back in those memories in their mind, or she broke something in their mind similar to the Hulk and now they remember everything. Which villain or story for Spider-Man 5 win? I would like just the symbiote storyline. You want to do Kraven's Last Hunt? Fine. Throw Kraven in there and do a Kraven version. If not, make it Mad Gargan Venom. I think I like the idea of them taking controversial or not well-liked Spider-Man storylines and doing a version of them that makes sense in the MCU, and they've kind of been doing that. Going back to No Way Home, that was the, was it One More Day storyline? Or the Brand New Day where he, makes the deal with Mephisto and sacrifices his relationship with MJ. Here, I'd love it if they do a Clone Saga. I think why not? Sure, let's do a Clone Saga and see what would happen. I think it could actually be fun. Dude, Kraven, yes. Who wouldn't want to see Kraven back? I don't want to see no Aaron Taylor Johnson Kraven. I want to see a comic, traditional Kraven that just wants to hunt down Spider-Man and ruin his life. Let's see that. I showed my friend your Spider-Man son meme, and he's never seen you before and thought you were the Rizzler. Yeah, haven't gotten that before. Was the girl... Oh, my... I wish everyone in the world forgot who Cindy Moon is. No, no. I thought we were finding Easter eggs and references. Can you check my Ned question on the Reddit? I can't afford to fully explain my question. If it's not the first thing I see, buddy, I'm not doing it. 3C Spider-Man. Well, there's actually some. Okay, good. It's on the screen. Screen froze at the worst time. Bro's looking at PP. Okay. 3C films of Spider-Man. Oh, and Boomerang. Oh, it's just more than one? Oh, dang. I like the used Photoshop. That's good. I know the movie didn't. Yeah, it could have worked, but I'm fine that it didn't. It could have worked. Wii U. Okay. Jeez Louise, buddy. Okay, well, who's your publisher on this novel? I didn't get everyone saying Ned didn't remember Peter at the end of the movie. I get that you think it is because of MJ saying Peter, but that is how the scene is set up. It would be set up differently if Ned was just putting the pieces together that he was Spider-Man. Here is what the scene entails. He goes in to get the flowers for May, but sees Ned. He goes to introduce himself to finish his arc, and because MJ told him to, Ned only recognizes him from the party. He says, "Hi, I'm Peter." Ned just says, "Okay." Nothing clicked in his brain, but he shakes his hand anyway. Peter goes for the handshake, and Ned is confused. Okay, buddy. Well, oh my goodness. Bro, there's more. There's a sequel to this book? No, buddy. No. Ned is not going around thinking every Peter is now Spider-Man. He meets a regular guy named Peter and also remembers that this is Maynard from the party. His okay isn't that, okay, your name's Peter. His name is, I thought your name was Maynard, but okay, I guess it's Peter. He doesn't think every Peter in the world is Spider-Man. Here's what the scene entails. Ned only recognizes him from the party. Peter goes to handshake. Ned looks confused, but his muscle memory kicks in, yes. After the handshake is done, there is a buildup of music. Ned blinks a bunch, a slight shiver, and then says, "Peter." Cut to black. Why is there a handshake if it's just clicking that he is Spider-Man from NJ slipping up? Why does the handshake make it click in Ned's head? If it's because of slipping, why include it? It would honestly hurt the movie if Ned remembered and MJ didn't. There is a whole the whole reason and heartbreaking part of this movie is MJ going, "I don't know you. What happened? That spell worked. Whatever that is not me. I don't love you." Now, Ned, hey! No! Enough! Enough with the clown. If I had a pencil, like, it's over. Ned just knows that is Spider-Man. And that is going to... The significance of that scene is that, sure, Peter doesn't get MJ, but Peter gets his friend back. Because they did also set up and establish he doesn't need to know Peter for them to still have their friendship. Peter was in Spider-Man outfit, making references, building Legos, and they were laughing and giggling, meaning their relationship isn't required for the memory to be there. They can just be friends because they have that dynamic. So the moral in the ending of the movie is Peter doesn't get MJ, but he gets to live his Peter Parker life through Ned getting his friend back and building that relationship again. I'm about to call up Kevin Feige and just tell him, "Kevin, can you explain it to these guys because they're not getting it?" Could someone get Destin on the phone and let's have him ask. Watch, he's going to be like, "No, he remembers." Someone said Ned has magic. Son. That was another theory that was going around on TikTok. Oh, but if you remember, Ned comes from magic ancestry, so he actually has it built within his mind to remember. I'm crashing out, bro. I'm crashing out. He's... We're never going to let this is going to be a recurring nightmare for me until Spider-Man 5 comes out. By the way, your criticism of Tom Holland's villains can't be applied to every other Spider-Man, as the only arch nemesis of Peter 2 and 3 was Harry. But you just proved my point. He had an arch nemesis, and I'm saying Tom didn't. And you're right now saying Toby did have an arch nemesis. So I'm right. Lawyered. Hey Chris, I think Sadie Sink's performance had that energy, like Tom Holland's Spider-Man and T'Challa in Civil War. She is one of my favorite actors. Hyped. Yeah, she was good. I can't wait to see her more and how they include her in the X-Men movie. I think that'll be fun. I'm very curious who they end up casting as Cyclops, because there's a lot of rumors and things going around, and nobody so far that they are casting. I'm like, I can't see them kissing Sadie Sink. Wanted to see Happy to further Peter's sadness. I don't know how Happy would have furthered that. It's just a casualty of like, well, Happy doesn't remember him. He has no reason to be hanging around Peter. And if you hit me with, yeah, but they hung out at a graveyard that one time. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. I was always an MCU Spider-Man defender, and Brand New Day made me realize what we were missing. Brand New Day is the best Tom, Toby, and Andrew movies all time. And see, I think a lot of people might be saying that, because I totally get enjoying enough the Watts movies. But when you watch Brand New Day, do you not go, oh, okay, we could have had this for 3 movies? I see now. I see. I don't. Just saying. May be dumb, but my theory for how Doctor Strange's spell will be broken is the old saying, the mind may forget, but the heart will always remember. I'm going to say this. As far as the spell and everything goes, after this movie, I don't think they'll ever reverse the spell. And I don't think they need to. Sure, there is maybe a loss with Ned, but in the Watts trilogy, they never did a great job of building those dynamics, aside from Peter and Ned. Sure, there was that friendship. But Peter and MJ never really bought that relationship, and it's so funny because they got together in real life. It's like you would think the people that actually love each other in real life would show that same chemistry on screen, but they didn't. And the Ned and MJ's relationship, like, they was non-existent. And in this movie, I bought into their friendships, into their dynamics, into Peter's love for MJ. I think this was a good way to reboot and reset those relationships without having to rely on the memories of those past relationships. So I actually don't mind if they never get those memories back, and it's just now we are building that relationship. Ned and I are friends, and one day I will get MJ back through loving her. So I think this movie, to me, showed the spell is here to stay, and we're never finding a way to break that. And I actually kind of like that. There was a Naruto poster in Ned's room. Yeah, we saw it in the trailers. Uh-huh. Good job. I wish Peter had the half-torn mask for I'm Both. That would have been dope. That actually would have been dope. I would like them to do that. That was one of the things I was disappointed with, because it'd be too hard to find right now. But if you remember in the concept art, well, not concept art, it was the inspiration art for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Remember when there was that art director whose Pinterest leaked online, and a lot of what he was doing actually did make it into the movie? He had saved a photo of like Spider-Man with a battle damaged suit, and there was that Funko Pop that I have over there that didn't make it into the movie, the battle damaged No Way Home suit, not in the film at all. I think they could have done better with the damaged suit. It honestly just looked like it got a little bit dirty and had some cuts. I need to see Tobey Maguire's levels of damaged suit, buddy. Hulk isn't in Doomsday, but how do you think a fight between Brand New Day Savage Hulk versus Doctor Doom would go? I think Doom beats him in the way to show, like, oh, actual muscle, magic muscle. I mean, if he freaking threw Thor's Stormbreaker away, he probably did that to Hulk. We saw Thanos was able to beat up Hulk. Rewatched BA really makes you wonder, Born Again, where was Spider-Man? Yeah, but maybe there was bigger potatoes. Maybe Daredevil is tiny potatoes, Spider-Man is little potatoes, and then Yelena's big potatoes. And I eat potatoes. In my honest opinion, Mysterio, Mr. Negative for Spider-Man 5. I am still okay if they somehow bring back Mysterio, because again, all the people that were helping Quentin Beck control the drones are still out there. We never saw them get arrested or pay for their crimes. And I think the world still is 50-50 on whether Mysterio was a good or bad guy. So I think it'd be cool if you bring back Mysterio as just a hologram controlled by those people. When Frank said, "Do you know what I would do over to have someone I care about still here, apartment of me," want to say, "Okay, but you do, Frank, but you rejected he," which I guess was the point. I'm a little lost here. Are you talking about Spider-Man or Daredevil as in the person that he has? I guess so. Kind of. Spidey is one of the smartest Marvel characters. He would find a way to be able to make money to fund Spider-Man. Would like Bugle for 5 though. I mean, yes, I agree. Spider-Man is smart enough, and there is so many ways to make income now, and like that's a real possibility. I don't like that theory, but it is a possibility. Like his YouTube channel from Civil War, there's a possibility he's still uploading stuff on there. That's how you could do the whole taking pictures and photos side of Spider-Man. But my only issue with that is you can make a lot of money on YouTube. And part of Spider-Man's struggle is that he doesn't have a lot of money. So it'd be one of those things where it's just like, I don't know how I feel about that. And also, it would kind of go against, again, his morals, because it'd be kind of like when Toby Spider-Man was using his powers in the wrestling match to show off and all that. He'd become an influencer of sorts, or he'd become showboaty, or like, look at Spider-Man take down these villains. It wouldn't fit with Spider-Man, as in it'd be him showing off, and not really so much for the money. You know what I mean? Seeing the film 5 times already. I love it so much. What are your thoughts on Spidey's potential being the one who created the mutants? So I hate it. It's not something I love. That he's responsible for that tech, because that's gonna hurt a lot of mutants. But maybe again that could be an arc they continue on. Spider-Man feels guilty. And there's rumors that Sony's going to play more nice with Spider-Man in the MCU, where there's possibility Spider-Man could pop up in movies that aren't Avenger films. So far, Spider-Man has only shown up, not in counting Civil War, but in Spider-Man films that are Avenger movies. So like, what if Spider-Man pops up in the first X-Men movie? And that's part of his arc. He's like, I didn't think this technology would get out of hand. I just thought it was a device. You know? Do you think Hobgoblin will happen in the future? I think the door is open and there are possibilities they could explore, yes. Best Spider-Man ever made. Also, I think the post-credit scene is more Toby on the Fantastic Four ship. Surprised the end credit scene was small. Toby on F4 ship. Yeah. Again, just keeping it vague, because I think it leaves the door open to really make it mean whatever they want. Do you love how the poster don't have floating heads, just like Superman 25? I hope the Batman Part 2 gets this kind. I mean, they did have a floating head poster in the end. Spider-Man, let me see if I can find poster. They did have one. It just wasn't really a popular poster. Let me see if I can find the actual one. It had all the characters on it, and it was kind of a floating head poster. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. But yeah, it was barely used. Spider-Man, A Brand New Day. Let's see, floating head. Sorry, typing with the gloves is hard. Oh, look, there's me. Yeah, not gonna be able to find it, but they did have their version of it. It was the one that they were memeing about, because it was this one. The guy's covering it up, but it's this poster. That was their version. It's a decent poster. It's a decent poster. There we go. There, here. That's the one. It's their version of the floating head. All right. Let's see what else we got. Let's see if I can try to zoom in on something. That way we can be looking at something nice. All right. My pitch for Spider-Man 5 title, One More Day. Not bad. I think day is definitely going to be in the title. So they did Brand New Day. Vacation Day. I don't know. What could they do it? I have no idea for the title of what they could do. Thoughts on the movie not showing Peter having a job or how he is able to afford his apartment? I was not a fan of that personally, and no J.K. Simmons. I think that's, see, and again, it's because it doesn't fit with their narrative that they were going with. The Next Day. Okay, some people say that. The Next Day, Spider-Man His Day, One Last Day. That's better for the last movie. Final Days, MJ Days. Some of these titles ain't really doing it. Christmas Day, that'd be a funny one. Someone said Freaky Day. Okay. Judgment Day. All right. It just didn't fit with the narrative and story they were telling. They didn't show us Peter's job because this movie's all about Spider-Man only, no Peter Parker. To show him with a job would be to show him balancing his Peter Parker life. They could have at least done it maybe like he gets fired at the beginning of the movie. That way it shows he's bad at the Peter Parker side of his life, right? And the reason JK wasn't there because a big part of it also is Spider-Man is so loved. There is almost no Spider-Man hate throughout this movie. Everyone loves him, is cherishing him. The whole city was like mourning for him when he was shot. And so it didn't fit with the narrative if he is also avoiding Peter Parker, but also half the city loves and hates him. Well, there's like there's very little reason to want to be Spider-Man, right? Because he's not even getting that kind of love. So it was just a narrative thing that didn't make sense. But I think now that he's balancing that, for sure, next movie we're getting the job, and I think they got to bring back the Daily Bugle. I also like how Tom used the same web pull that Andrew did to save MJ. Yeah, because that's iconic with us. We see that scene and we know how dangerous that move is and what it could mean for a Spider-Man character. It is so funny how close to No Way Home they did it, because they literally do that scene similarly in No Way Home, and then they just pop it out again in Brand New Day. I was like, okay, wow, that was pretty fast. Couldn't wait one more movie to do that. But no, it was cool because my audience gasped. They were like, oh, this is it, the neck break. Not really a question about spoilers, but did you pick up the Regal or AMC popcorn buckets? I bought them. Yes, I did buy the Regal one. It is downstairs. That's the one. Here, let me pop it on. That's the one. Compared to the AMC one is cool, but the Regal one was cooler to me. I've showed you guys in the vlog video, I do have the web hand one. But this one, I think this one is just cool looking. I love the look of it. I think it looks dope. And this is now going to be my personal popcorn bucket for when I eat popcorn at home. For the longest time, it was the Batman one. Let's see, the Batman 10. This one. This is the one I literally have, and I still use. Oh, look, here I am with it. This is me in the video. Yes, this has been my like go-to popcorn bucket when I eat popcorn at home. Whenever I microwave or I turn on my popcorn machine that I have. That's the one that I pour my popcorn in. Let's see here. Not really a oh yeah, so there we go. So going forward, how do you think Peter is introduced in Secret Wars? IDK, how you just randomly have him show up without setting it up like it was in Infinity War. Really wish he was into it. No, they set it up. Him talking to Yelena is the setup. Yelena is going to come across a threat that is so big that any hero available is welcome to help out. So I think that's the setup, is the relationship he has with Yelena. Yelena's aware of Spider-Man. Sure, he handles small potato, but hey, if they need all hands on deck, Spider Guy, can you show up? I think that's the setup right there. Let's see here. I like the one scene where Scorpion used his tail to launch into the air to kick Peter, had my jaw to the floor. Destin Cook with every scene. Also the scene where Frank imitated Spider-Man had me dying. Yeah, that was funny. I do like, that's why I wish Scorpion was a bigger part. They actually had some cool things with the Scorpion suit. He never got to wear the mask, unfortunately, but I like the way his Scorpion tail works, and that it had like these like pressure sensors, so where he like fighting Spider-Man and he was like pushing harder on it. Like there was a lot of practical cool uses for that suit, but that might have been the only time we get a Scorpion. Just wondering if you noticed Fisk poster. Yeah, I did. Cool that he's out there, but I don't know if it means much else. I don't know if we're getting Fisk in the next couple movies. Was the job interview with MJ went to... You see, that's a good thing they could set up. I do speculate on that in my theory video. There, I think, again, I want to save it so you guys can watch my theory video. I don't want to give away everything I talk about in here. But I think there's more. There's little things that MJ says about what she does that I think definitely hint at the next movie. But yeah, Oscorp, maybe not. Because remember, in No Way Home, they just set up Oscorp doesn't exist. Maybe in the 4 years, it has existed. It started to exist, and it's a small company. We'll see. Big fan, by the way. Crazy. We're at the time in the MCU where Spider-Man and the Punisher are teaming up to fight the Hulk, and Jean Grey coin inside the mind of Punisher. Anything is possible. Red light. Yeah, definitely. Red light. Good stuff. Makes me excited for who the relationships will be for the next movie. I think it's time to introduce Black Cat in Tom Holland's story. I'd have a Web of Shadows vibe. Who would you pick as a dream casting, Felicia? I like Anya Taylor-Joy. I would have gone with, the simple, narrow-minded Sydney Sweeney, but she's already used in Madam Web, but they could also bring her back. I like Anya Taylor-Joy. I think she'd be a cool choice. Trying to think of other ones. Kaylee Spaney, but she's looking in talks to be Rogue. I don't know. Anya, to me, seems like a good choice. Let's see what Sydney Sweeney is Black Cat. Hey, don't knock it. You telling me you wouldn't fold? You wouldn't fold? Okay. She's magic. Yeah, but she's not. But she's magic in a different offhand universe. She's not magic in the MCU. See, I'm trying to see if anybody has any better suggestions. I'm not seeing Maya Hawke. Okay, sure. Ryan Gosling as Black Cat. There we go. Now we talking. I'd fold. What was your reaction to the Yelena scene being true? I mean, I believe the scoops all along. I just wanted to know the context of that. And again, even with the context, I still think it's such a weird scene, but yeah, it was crazy that it was real. I'm glad it happened so early in the movie, because if not, I would have been like, when is Yelena popping in? 127 million, no pressure for Spidey 5. I mean, there's going to be pressure either way. My thing is, like, I don't know what they could do to get people more excited, but I mean, maybe. How would you rank the Spider-Man team-ups? Iron Man, Nick Fury, Doctor Strange, Toby, Andrew, and Punisher. I mean, honestly, Punisher and Spider-Man, number one. Let's go last place. Last place, I am going Spider-Man and Nick Fury. One, because that wasn't even Nick Fury. And what a boring choice, if I'm being honest. I'm sorry. Boring choice. Then I'm going, what was the one after that? So then I guess you'd have to put No Way Home's Doctor Strange. I mean, it's really just the basis of the movie. It did lead to some cool scenes. I did like the scene where they're fighting, and it showed Peter's smart capabilities with, like, oh, this is just the Pythagorean theorem or whatever it was called. So I did kind of like that. And then I would go, I guess, Iron Man, but number one is Punisher and Spider-Man. That's just been the best. I absolutely loved the movie. Everything felt like peak Spider-Man. Do you think Peter will interact with the X-Men in the future? It'd be cool. I mean, if they're using his movie to be a launching pad for a soft introduction of the X-Men, then yeah, how about you throw Peter in there a little bit? That'd be awesome. Hey, 3C, what do you think the post-credit scene leads to, Toby, in Doomsday? TASM 2 looked way better effects-wise. I agree. It's just movies are different nowadays. There's a stronger time crunch on the VFX people. It's like, hey, you got to get it done. I think people said the VFX took 7 months for Brand New Day, and for TASM 2, it was 11 months. And also, TASM 2 is still the most expensive Spider-Man movie made. They spent way too much money on that, and it bit them in the butt. So that's also why that movie looks so good. But yeah, I still agree. TASM 2 is still the best-looking Spider-Man movie. Love the El Muerto Easter egg. Oh yeah, I actually saved that. I saved that little song here. Let's pop it on, guys. Please don't copyright me, Mr. Benito. That was good. And the Tame Impala song too. That was dope. Do you think Hobgoblin will eventually show up? I say why not? They've established, and I love this about the animated movies, there are canon events in Peter's life. There are things that have to happen. And they set up in No Way Home, a canon event is that your best friend tries to kill you. With the lack of full-on memory that Ned has, which is still going to be my thing, and there are, again, things I'm going to say in the prediction video that they could explore for Ned's Hobgoblin turn. Why not? Curious on what Tom Spider's suit is going to look like the next movie, since his suit was cut open for surgery at the end of this, aside from the possible, and it just might be the symbiote. He might only get a suit at the end of Spider-Man 5 because he'd probably be wearing the symbiote most of 5. Um, so yeah, I'm very curious, but I hope it's a small tweaked up version of the brand new day suit because that right now is my favorite Tom suit. Do you think they will pivot the love interest? No, I think they could have a detour, but I think at the end of the day, come Spider-Man 6, he's back with MJ. Thoughts on the head in the jar being damage control making clones, Ben Riley? I mean, you never know. I definitely was looking hard the second time if that weird jar head meant anything, but I couldn't find it, really any markings or names on it that would hint at what it was. Do you know that brand new day? Yes, I do, and I got him, buddy. People thought Keith David was playing Jackal. I know. That's how desperate we were for actual Spider-Man villains in a Spider-Man film. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk? Oh, you're thinking about a villain in Spider-Man from Spider-Man comics? Ha! This guy. He thinks Spider-Man's gonna have a villain of a... Oh, Jean Grey X-Men, buddy. That's how desperate we are for Tom to get some Spider-Man villains in there. Do you think when Peter and Ned do their handshake at the end, Ned remembers Peter as his friend, or when MJ says his name earlier? When MJ says his name earlier. End of discussion. Chris, what you think of Peter casting creating the mutant inhibitor collars got me hyped for the future, knowing this sets up. I mean, I don't like it because I'm like, Spider-Man is responsible for a lot of awful things, man. It's like, I'm trying to find the real world analogy of this. Who's like a really good person everyone loves in life? Yeah, I'm not going to be able to think of it. I hate it, but I hope that they explore it as a consequence, you know? Do you think we'll get any X-Men First Class in Goons Day or Secret Wars? I think we will definitely get... Oh, no, I think they'll focus on the X-Men, and then they'll just set up the new ones after Secret Wars. As a Venom fan, if Venom isn't Eddie Brock, keep it. Honestly, the Tom Hardy movies ruined Eddie Brock for me, so no. Let's go ahead and let someone else be it.
Oh, Eddie, let's get the chocolate. I got that.
Hey, Chris, tuned in late, but do you think Jean Grey can control Savage Hulk because she doesn't control Hulk? It was Professor Hulk through Bruce, but with her unlocking more, do you think she can? I don't know. She definitely gets an upgrade and is able to do a little bit more, but I don't even think she can control Peter in that moment. I think she's just being able to finally peek into his mind. So I still think there's limitations to it. And also to me, the thing I do love about that scene is it shows X-Men will grow in their roles. They're not going to be able to instantly know all their powers and hone them in. So, like, if they introduce Bobby Iceman, he's not going to be able to go full Iceman right away. I hope they don't take 3 movies to build up to that, but I like the idea of that the mutants start small and Professor X helps them navigate their abilities, explore them, train them, because I think that's just a cool part. My live action Spider-Man movie ranking. Okay, Brand New Day, Spider-Man 2, No Way Home, Homecoming. Okay, good. Far From Home at the end and TASM 1 at the end. Oh, TASM 2 above it. Nice. I bawled my eyes out when Ned and Peter did their handshake. Spider-Man 3 is criminally overhated. I definitely think so now. It is crazy how our standards have changed. Because I genuinely think you go back and watch Spider-Man 3, in today's day and age, that is honestly a good comic book movie. We have had enough poo-pooey, mediocre, bad comic book films that in comparison, Spider-Man 3 actually looks like a really good movie. When at the time, that was looked at as one of the worst comic book movies ever made. But I don't feel that way when I've had my Morbius, my Madam Web, my Craven, the Hunter. It's kind of funny how that's happened. Do you, Batman, can one day reach the popularity like Spider-Man and make more money? Can Matt and Robert make... I do think Batman is at that level. We just are building to that. Remember, Homecoming didn't make $1 billion. I don't even know if Far From Home did. I think we are in the beginning blocks of Batman. I think the only other hero capable of what Spider-Man just did this weekend is Batman. So I think Batman is at that popularity level, but if you really did want to argue, I think Spider-Man sure right now is at the top. But if anyone is close, it is the Batman. And I not even just mean the Batman with Matt Reeves. I mean just Batman in general as a character is capable of that. When his own villain solo movies, Joker, make $1 billion, which Spider-Man movies can't even do that solo villain movies, you are at the same level. 3C chins, love you. Yeah, this caller here does not do well for my chin. Son. Let's see here. I hope they do the storyline where Roderick Kingsley frames Ned for being Hobgoblin. It would be a cool twist that breaks the Spider-Man's best friend becoming a villain formula. Sure. Yeah. No comment, yes. Rhino as the main villain. You know what? Yes. He was done so little in TASM 2. Sure. And let's actually make it the guy in a suit, not mechanical suit. I think they should do like the polyester man. They should do the like made some sort of like foamy material that is stuck to the guy who wears it, and it just ends up looking like a Rhino. And he's like, I like the way Spectacular Spider-Man handled it, and it's been done like that in the comics before, where like Rhino sometimes is just stuck in the suit, and that adds on to his frustration, his anger, and all that kind of stuff. So I would honestly like Rhino, maybe not as a main villain, but as like a main side villain, secondary villain, sure. Let's see here. Amon Esfandi Hobgoblin perchance? Is that the MJ boyfriend guy? It would be a nice subversion, especially if Peter befriends him and is like, oh, okay, you took the love of my life, but you're actually not a bad guy. We can actually be friends. And then he becomes his Hobgoblin? Sure. Although I think the best Tom Holland Spider-Man movie has been, although it's the best Tom Holland Spider-Man movie that has been, I think Tombstone should have been the main villain, hiring Scorpion and other villains. I agree. Definitely agree. Big time agree. When Miles becomes the next Spider-Man, will it be better to have Peter killed off or have a happy ending? Happy ending. You're going against the writers here. I mean, no, because I love Miles and what he's done, but I hate the idea that Peter Parker has to die for Miles to step in. I like that the Insomniac world has deviated from that story and that we are able to do more. And even look at how much Peter Parker, I know it's Peter B. Parker, is impactful to Miles' life in the animated stuff. I think what you do is just happy ending. He finally gets MJ. Maybe she's pregnant, or maybe they can finally live a life together. Give his own version of a Captain America story where it's like, you're allowed to be happy. Let me take a sip. This bureau's kicking in. A TASM 2 suit or Brand New Day suit? This is harder to me than you think. Because I like the TASM suit a lot. The eyes were always slightly too big. I know people like the big eyes. I'm not too crazy. I don't think it fits with Andrew's body and his lankiness. But if I had to choose, especially with the scenes and the spider symbol, I think I'd go TASM 2 suit. But Brand New Day suit, from certain angles, really got me going. I think the only thing holding back the Brand New Day suit is the web shooters. But even then, they're not on his suit for half the movie. How long until we get the next Spider-Man movie? Ooh, at least 4 years. That's the way Sony works and the way their contract is. They have to have a Spider-Man movie in production every 4 or 5 years, I think it is, or else they lose the rights. So, I mean, what are we in? 20... I mean, if they're kicking the trilogy now, the way they did it with the Far From Home and No Way Home, it's like 3 years in between. So, following that formula, 2029. But I'm going to go 2030. 2029, though, the earliest. Andrew guessed one of Wonder Woman creators address cancellation on TikTok. Wonder Man, sorry. Also, the roof scene was my favorite scene, and the score that plays is very Batman. Yeah, I wasn't all that crazy about the Michael Giacchino score. There's definitely has its moments, but I was like, it didn't feel that impactful to me from what I have seen of Michael Giacchino. And yeah, I did see the showrunner of Wonder Man, talk about that on TikTok. You think Ned could face an injury where he hates, blames Peter because he entered their lives, then finds a way to strengthen himself, similar to Zoom? Why not? Why not? Maybe the groundwork is already there. Are the organic web? Yeah, organic is here to stay. With Peter saying at the end, I'm both, organic is here to stay, which, you know what, I'm fine with. Like I said, the web shooters were barely that significant to Tom's version, so it's not that big of a deal at this point. And I think the movie did a good enough job explaining his evolution in the character. So yeah, organic webs are here to stay. I feel like we need to see more battle damage. Yes, I agree. More battle damage that isn't fully CGI. Let's get some rips. Let's get some tears. I want to see some Tom Holland nip. How do we think Spider-Man will get his black suit in Avengers Secret Wars? I think in just whatever planet they're fighting. I think they could honestly do it in such an insignificant, fast way. Um, yeah, I really wouldn't know. It could literally be as simple as they're on a planet, he touches something, and it latches onto him, and that's it. The Spidey app scene, I believe, refers to Toby or Andrew coming in to replace Spidey for Avengers Doomsday. I think it's for Toby, but yeah, I agree. What if they use the symbiote as an allegory for addiction instead of doing the route of making him angry? I think great idea. Because that's what they need to do. They can't use the symbiote to be angry and violent. So it needs to be another negative quality. Addiction is a good one. So it could be that. It could, like I said, it could be lust. It could be bad choices. I agree that could be a good way to handle it. Addiction. Maybe Peter is just addicted to the power and the feeling of the suit. Power. It feels good. But you'll lose yourself. I like being bad. I really hope Hobgoblin shows up. I'll be disappointed if it never happens. Me too. We need at least some goblin to show up, right? Mind Goblin needs nuts. Hi, Chris. Would you prefer them to do either a symbiote story with Secret Wars and onwards, or have them continue with Peter's somewhat identity crisis and maybe do the clone story involving Ben Reilly? Symbiote. But I am definitely open to the clone saga happening, because why not? I feel like they could do something fun there. It's gonna really weird going from the straight to seeing Spidey in Secret Wars with the black suit in it too quick. How do you go from street level, world-ending multiverse and back to street level like nothing? I think you do it, especially because sure he's gonna go multiverse in Secret Wars, but at the end of Secret Wars, everything is gonna go into a unified, simple timeline and almost back to status quo. And by the end of Spider-Man Brand New Day, he's street level, reliving his life as Peter and Spider-Man. Okay, he has his multiverse adventure in Secret Wars. Spider-Man 5, he's back to street level because the world has been reset and the timeline is set up again. So I think it actually works fine. Love that Brand New Day was an inverse of Spider-Man 2. Toby PP doesn't want to be, so he loses his powers, and Tom PP doesn't want to be Peter, so the Spider takes over and loves the callbacks to the other movies. I agree. I do like all that stuff too. Did you notice the way Punisher was carrying Spider-Man was like in the comics? Yeah, we talked about it, and I hinted at you guys that I saw that photo for the longest time. It was sent to me all the way back in February. I don't think it looks as hard as it does in the Civil War comic. That looks way cooler because of how beat up Spider-Man is, but it is cool that they recreated that moment. Was hoping they brought up Uncle or name dropped him. Yeah, at this point, we're just never getting an Uncle Ben mention. And you know what? I'm just fine with it. Aunt May has been set up to be his Uncle Ben. She has done enough to really influence his life. And they fixed something that I was never that fond of, where he goes from Homecoming to Far From Home, where May is just okay with him being Spider-Man, is even showing him off as Spider-Man, and doesn't care about the consequences. Like, no offense to Watts, they did not do enough with May up until like her death in No Way Home. And here I like that they kind of redid that to where there was a speech and she gave her own version of with great power comes great responsibility. So yeah. How do you think the X-Men will form? It seems they're starting from scratch with them instead of having history back in the 50s. I'm telling you that it's just going to be Secret Wars resets the timeline. The Xavier mansions already exist. The kids are all ready to go into school. Mutants have been around for years, and they're just problems. And there's constant laws and debates about whether do we make laws against the mutants? Do we do this? Do we do that? So I think it's just going to be that. They just will exist after Secret Wars. Do you think Ned turns into Hobgoblin? I think there's the open door for it. And if we're not going to do Green Goblin, I actually would not mind seeing Ned done, especially under Destin. I feel like there's a way he could do it to make it happen. Is there anything you would change about the suit? It was just really the web shooters. That's about it. Maybe raise the webbing a little bit more, make it a little darker. That's about it. Or thicker, I should say. I wonder if there is MCU Wolverine in 616. If there isn't at this point, there will be after Secret Wars. And it might be Hugh Jackman, it might be someone else. We don't know yet. Spider-Man 5. Do we see Spider-Man going to Mr. Fantastic for help with the symbiote, assuming they have met by now? I definitely think that's what they could do. Destin has already shown they're great at how do I say it? At at playing within the sandbox of the MCU, the way he goes from damage control to Yelena to then Bruce to this situation. I think if he does have the symbiote and he's like, what is this alien tech? Let me go to people who do know about alien stuff. The Fantastic Four, that'd be an awesome introduction. You skipped no, we didn't, buddy. You were the one who said about the Reddit question. We went through that whole Reddit question and I had a crash out because of you, you weirdo. In recent interview, Tom says he does indeed know when Miles is coming, so he's definitely coming soon. What's your favorite part? Yeah, I think it's going to be teased at the end of 5, and then Spider-Man 6, full-on Miles, introduction, and passing the baton. Someone said, my bad, it's okay, you weirdo, I was just joking. MCU just doesn't like to do things from previous franchises. They're not going to make Ned evil, introduce his classic friend, not even going to have their own Green Goblin. I hate MCU Spider-Man. No, I mean, sure, you could say his friend being evil is a repeat of the storyline, but it would be a repeat in a refreshing way. We've never seen Hobgoblin. We've never seen it done that way, so I actually would be open to it, and I could see them maybe doing it. The banter between Frank and Peter had my theater laughing. I really want to see what happens on Staten Island. I think the end credit scene of Tom going to Battleworld, since it only works one Spider-Man, not showing two logos. Yeah, I think it's Toby, but yeah, I agree. I really like that, but I'm fine if they didn't show it. It would have been nice if it was like a 1-second thing in the flashback scenes at the beginning, but oh well. I doubt the post-credit scene is setting up Toby in Doomsday. I think it's the most likely Tom Spidey getting transported to Battleworld. But watch it again. His spider blip doesn't disappear. His spider blip still stays there, and it says another Spidey detected on the tracker. So it's definitely hinting at a different Spider-Man. I think Ned remembers the handshake but doesn't know who it was with. Okay, I'll take that. Chris, I agree with you. With Jacob Batalon acts the Peter scene out in no way like a guy getting all these memories rushing into him. Glad you agree with me, buddy. I'm sorry. I love Tom Holland Spider-Man. I just wish we could have gotten back to Tobey and Andrew era. The Spider-Man fanboy got me outage. Yeah, I mean, those days are past us now. And for all we know, whenever they make the next Spider-Man, maybe not Miles, but the next Peter Parker in like 30, 20 years from now, maybe I'll be saying, dude, the Tom days were just so much better. NC Fanboy sends in a super sticker. Thank you so much for that. You got to think that after Brand New Day, Sony is definitely thinking of doing multiple live-action Spider-Verse movies like Tom, Miles in the future, especially with Nick Cage Spidey already existing. Yeah, but I don't think the viewership on Spider-Noir was good, unfortunately. I remember reading articles and seeing stuff. Not a lot of people tuned into that, so that actually might deter them from doing too much things, and might be one of the reasons the Silk show isn't happening. Feelings about potentially involving Black Cat. Love it. I think it's an awesome idea, especially if he's paired with a black suit. How did Scorpion get the suit? Great point, my friend. I wish there was enough room to explore that or to get into that. I guess you could buy into he would make a mechanical Scorpion suit. I mean, he's gone as far as to get a scorpion on his neck. Have you guys seen that trend? Which let's just do it right now. Where people get tattoos on their necks. I think it was a skit guy. He's really funny. Trey Rags or so. I forget his name. But people just associate, oh, get a goat on my neck. Oh, bro got that goat neck. Put my name on my neck. Oh, bro got that selfish neck. Scorpion had that scorpion on his neck. Bro got that venomous neck. Bro Bro got that neck that leaves you dry like the desert. Because scorpions are found in the desert. Did I cook, chat? I'm waiting to see if the chat laughs at that or not. All right, anyways. But you're right. They never showcased that or where he gets it, and it would have actually have been a good like inclusion for J. Jonah Jameson, because in the comics, J. Jonah funds the Scorpion suit to go after Spider-Man, and it's a bad decision on his part. And I could definitely see the MCU J. Jonah Jameson doing that. But it's also such a scene where you could completely remove the snow scene of showing Scorpion and them fighting. You can remove that, and it honestly makes more sense to where we left off Scorpion. We know he's been in prison all these years, ever since Homecoming, and the next time we see him, he is in prison, being moved to a different facility. It honestly made less sense to show him fighting in the snow and ending up back in prison, right? Because that means he would have had to escape a previous time. I don't know. I love how you're doing the stream on the exact same night I finished watching the movie with my homies. Sadly, it was a sausage fest. Hey, that's okay. Though, because our girlfriends refused to watch it with us. Hey, the boys in Spider-Man is all you need, man. I hope y'all flipped each other at the end. What are your thoughts on having Peter's identity known to Punisher, Jean, and MJ so quick? It doesn't bother me. I mean, it's always been a common thing. You go back to the Tobey movies, the Andrew movies. I mean, the first Andrew movie, he reveals it to Gwen, to Captain Stacy, even though he dies. But Tobey also ends up revealing it as the course of his movie, so it doesn't matter to me. I think also heroes, you know, I know Punisher's an anti-hero, get an extra pass because it's almost like being part of the club. But I like how he still kept it secretive. Yelena doesn't know it. You know, people at Damage Control still don't know it, even though he did reveal his mask in the fight at the prison. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Could 5 get a 28, 29? I'm thinking 29 is the earliest release date. I wish Scorpion or Tombstone was the main villain instead of Jean. I agree in the sense that I just would like more classic Spider-Man villains, you know? Peter brought out a new happiness for Frank, and I like that because Frank definitely needed that. I think they should make Daredevil movie after Secret Wars and redo Devil's Reign with Tombstone and make a Defenders movie out of it with Spider-Man. What do you think? They should do Daredevil and Spider-Man? Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. If you're going to throw in Spider-Man, you're throwing him into a bigger IP. I think a Daredevil movie, when he's already unfortunately having lower viewership on Disney Plus, is not something Sony will approve of. You want to throw in Spider-Man in an Avenger film, Sony's like, oh yeah, because that's a lot of eyeballs and that brings up our brand. If anything, it'll be an X-Men movie because at least that's the next big thing Marvel is trying to build up towards. Off topic, but have you ever played Marvel Rivals? I did. I just couldn't get too into it. I liked it for like a week and then I just got bored of it. Says the guy who plays Fortnite. Yeah, I know, bro. I know. In the montage, we should have seen some webbed up AVTF guards at least. I'm fine with no Daredevil in the movie, but at least mention the huge mayor thing in New York. I mean, when they didn't even when they cut Claire's cameo, the night nurse, it's just them wanting to do very little focus on the Disney Plus stuff. You can say, yeah, but what about Frank? I mean, the movie setting up that Spider-Man had a previous relationship with Frank on Staten Island is all the setup you need. And they touch a little bit upon, you know, his family origin. You don't really need any Disney Plus content to be aware of that. I noticed that in the new Spidey-themed Marvel logo opening, there's a shot of Tom Spider-Man in a ripped mask that we've actually never seen before. Oh, really? I haven't caught that. That's cool. No, wasn't it? Oh, maybe not. I was going to say, no, it's not. Unless it's a recreation of the scene from Homecoming where he sees his reflection. But you're right. I don't think we've actually ever seen that. When I learned that the whole Sadie Sink is Jean Grey rumor was true, I was ready to hate it. I had to will myself to stay in the theater. Yeah, I could be petty right now and go into my comments and go, she's not Jean Grey. And I'll be like, she is, buddy. But, you know, a lot of us didn't want it to happen. But it ended up working for the movie. I haven't been a fan of Tom as Spider-Man personally. He never felt like actual Spidey in his own movies. But this new one finally gave me that feeling. Also, do you think Fisk could be the villain in the next one? They've just outused Fisk so much that Tombstone could be your Fisk replacement in the universe. I don't think Fisk is coming in, and I doubt Tombstone's coming in now with the way they used him. But I agree with you on this. Finally felt like the Tom Holland Spider-Man movie I've been waiting for. People saying they messed up Punisher, but is it not plausible that Frank sees Peter as a son he never had? Agreed, because in his eyes he sees Spider-Man as a kid, and there is a part of him that, like, I can't see him getting as chummy or heartfelt with Matt Murdock. Not to say they don't have a bromance in a weird way, but it's different because he does see Peter as a kid. Casting Sadie Sink as Jean Grey was the perfect choice, and I'm really hoping this isn't. Oh no, it's not. We're seeing Sadie Sink as our Jean Grey for the next 20-15 years, buddy. I do hope we see more of Ramrod, Tarantula, and Boomerang in 5, or at least a released version of the assembly cut in the future. I don't think there is more to those fight scenes. I think what you saw in those snippets of like Tarantula, Boomerang, and Ramrod, that's the complete fight of their scene. There is not more to the fight with Boomerang. There's not more. That was it. My last super chat, my phone is glitchy. No worries, buddy. Thank you so much. You've probably already spoken about this, but thoughts on being able to see his eyes through the lens. I loved it. I really loved it, and it works so well in that Hulk scene where you can see the fear in his eyes when he's like, Hulk's about to freaking turn me into a mashed potato. He's like, please, Bruce, it's Peter, and you see the eyeball. Great, awesome choice by Destin. How many Spider Tom movies do you think we'll be getting? Honestly, I could see this trilogy and one more at least. We're definitely getting one trilogy of a Tom, but I could see another trilogy happening in the future. Do you think we're getting the black suit in Secret Wars? Also, yes, definitely. I'm willing to put money on it. I think we're getting the black suit in Secret Wars. Do you think the box office open? Did you? Yeah, I did, and that's awesome numbers. Almost $1 billion in one weekend. Woo, woo! Tom's the GOAT. Who do you think should play Wolverine and Cyclops in the new X-Men? I'm starting to warm up to Cooper Hoffman. I'm seeing enough edits and people putting him in the costume in shape where I'm like, you know what? Cooper might cook. As far as Wolverine, I'm fine if it's Hugh. I'm fine if it's someone new, as long as the characters are done justice, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I know a lot of people are not warmed up to Cooper Hoffman, but we'll see. I think there's very little chance he actually does gets it, but if he does, I don't think I'm as mad as I was when I first saw it. I was like, really him? I don't know about that. But now I'm kind of like seeing it a little more. Peter can become a teacher like in the comics game, talking Miles on field trips to get this spider bite. Hard not to notice all the product ads: Bureau, Mets, Takis, BMW, Little Caesars. And someone did bring this up. To me, it didn't matter because I actually love Little Caesars, right? But it's like, bro lives in New York, the one place in the world where pizza is at its best. And you don't go to a pizza chain and bro is ordering Little Caesars. That's like going to Italy and choosing to eat at Olive Garden. Fa! Come on, Tom. But it's a product placement, right? I guess that's just how they paid for a lot of stuff. Noticing it more and more in movies. I hope we see Scorpion as a recurring villain. I honestly would not mind either, especially if they eventually make him Venom. Chris, I'm pretty sure you skipped my last super chat. Oh, damn, Rock. Let's see. I'm scrolling up, Rock. I'm scrolling up. Sometimes you just gotta give it a minute, buddy. Dang, how far back we going, Rock? I don't see nothing. I genuinely don't see it, Rock, unless it's like that far back. Sorry, buddy. I'm going almost to the top now. I still don't see it. Just gonna have to let it slide, buddy. I'm pretty sure I got it though. If I didn't, buddy, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find you in the chat right now. I don't see you. Someone said Olive Garden is so good. Yeah, I enjoy me Olive Garden too, but if I'm in Italy, don't I want the authentic food? Let's see if I can find where I left off now. Sorry, guys. Awkward pause here for a second. Okay, there we go. I think I found them. All right. Do you think we actually could see Spider-Man and Deadpool team up somewhere down the line? Yeah, especially since Punisher is a rated R character. They tested the waters. It'd be funny if it's all rated R characters. Because can you imagine it's Deadpool in the next one, and then since they're doing Ryan Gosling Ghost Rider, and there was like talks that there could be a Ghost Rider partnership, they do Ryan Gosling Ghost Rider for the sixth movie. That'd be wild. Do you think that this mutation was really the symbiote finally finding its way to Peter and they're saving the reveal for a future? Nah, don't think so. Calling it now, the Hobgoblin setup will be Peter starts hating on Paul and it hurts Ned's feelings. That could be one of them. That could be one of them, but there's some more hints to it. But that definitely could be one because Ned was perfectly happy with him. You know, wouldn't you want your two best friends to get along if Peter's being a jerk or being rude and he's like, we might have been friends before, but you're not someone I want to be friends with. Don't call me. Don't come by my house. We're done. I hope Ned hits him with that. And then out of his pocket, throws him one of those. I still think that Keith David playing Jackal, they're setting him up. Like, why cast him and credit him just to a voiceover as a false doc? I mean, he just has a great voice. They needed someone with a great voice for that little gag of watching spiders bang each other and Peter going, yeah, turn that off and save it for later. Also, order tissues and lotion. Hey, the arachnid side of him was coming out. That was the hub for him. In the comics, Peter and Spider-Man is great with women, so it wouldn't surprise me if during the trilogy he hooked up. Okay, this is also one thing I want to address. I cannot believe the amount of people that are like, they actually think what Peter was doing for Jean was a romantic thing. I don't know what's up with TikTok. I see the worst theories on TikTok, man. I scroll past every video and go, the amount of people that think Peter can now genuinely hook up with Jean Grey, son, no. The age gap is big with them, okay? Peter is essentially almost in his, well, not in his 30s, but he's like 25, 26. And Jean, I believe in this, is like 16, 17. I don't think they're going to want to do that. I don't see a romantic relationship. This to me was just him proving he can be a mentor. He can guide somebody. And this is set up for eventually when Miles comes. We have already seen him be a mentor and a guidance figure for a young hero. That's all it is. I don't think bro's hooking up with Jean Grey. Is he 22, 23 in this? Because it's been 4 years since No Way Home. If he graduated at the end, even then, bro, still. I still think I don't see them hooking up. Bro said hooked up with Jean D. Wolf too? Can you imagine? Oye, mamita. How about you put them kids to bed? And let's solve the mystery of our tension. Bruh. That's just funny. Tom said he wants to team up with Johnny Storm, but do you see that being a Spider-Man 5-6 thing or the next? I think if they do symbiote, perfect way to include the Fantastic Four, because why not go with them? Because they're space people. They handle space research. Spider-Man is dealing with a space thing latched onto him. Be perfect. And then we get that Johnny relationship. The one thing that bothers me about the MCU Spider-Man is how Spider-Man never has his own enemies. All his previous villains are connected to Tony or not at all. I agree. And that's why, like, I would really like, at this point, you could bring Vulture back and now he has a vendetta against Spider-Man. You could bring Hologram Mysterio back, vendetta. And if anything, Mysterio has messed up Spider-Man's life more, where he has a real argument now to be the arch nemesis for this Spider-Man. Bring back Scorpion, bring back Shocker. Aaron Davis, you know, that you could do that, but they haven't yet. Rosario Dawson filmed a scene in the hospital in the end as Claire Temple. That was ultimately cut. I also think Jean was heading to possibly meet MCU Xavier at the end. I mean, yeah, I think that's the obvious vague thing they're teasing. She's going upstate New York? Who else has a mansion up there? As far as the Claire Temple thing, I think ultimately it was removed because of the Disney Plus connection and the character being connected to there. But I feel like there was an easy in movie connection for that to happen because you want to believe that the nurses and figures in the hospital will help Peter without taking off his mask, without revealing his identity and doing all this. If Frank took her to Claire, she already is willing to do that stuff, but then you have to build that relationship, set that up, and all these other things. I guess the movie was already so long they didn't want to do it. Hi 3C, my birthday's tomorrow. Can I get a
It's my birthday!
Euro on me, buddy? Enjoy. Crud, you skipped my super chat from an hour ago. Still waiting on you to read it, buddy. I seriously, I don't see. I'll try looking. Let me see if I can kind of Google it. Let me see if I can find anything, buddy. I'm memorizing your gorgeous face, dude, and I'm gonna scroll till I see something. Analyzing. Computer, make this guy's super chat appear. I don't have my own version of that. No, dude, I'm looking at it, and I only just came across your tweet that said, Chris, I think you skipped my super chat. That's the first super chat I see from you, buddy. Unless this is a troll. I don't see nothing. But now you have sent 2 super chats. If you decide to send a third one, buddy, how about you just send your question? Or send it right now in the chat, and I'll answer it, so you don't have to pay. You think we will get Black Cat in MCU soon? Who's your fan cast? Mine is Madeline. She'd be great too. I would not mind her. She'd be good too. Anya Taylor-Joy for me. Let's see here. Let's see. Remember the King of Black rumors? And I think those were more real than we thought. Because yeah, Tom and there have been some rumors and Scooper saying that yeah, the original idea for what they had for this movie, Tom did not like it. They did not want it. They were at odds, and I genuinely think it was that. I think it was the King in Black, and it was gonna have Toby and Andrew somehow in it again, and it just would not have made sense. And I'm glad Tom Holland fought against it. Do you think we could see the 2005 Fantastic Four and Secret Wars? I hope so. I'd actually like to see them all. And if not all of them, at least the one we haven't seen yet, which is, I can't remember his name, but the guy who plays Reed Richards in those, or Ben Grimm, because those are the only 2 we haven't seen. Oh, I guess Jessica Alba as well. Have we seen the others? It's just Chris Evans' version that we've seen. I hope so, though. I like that iteration. Could we get Spidey and Daredevil versus Wilson Fisk? I think it's honestly too late and the moment's passed at this point. I would have loved it, but I think the moment's passed. Can you sing Loser by Tame Impala? I actually don't know the lyrics to it. I like the song. I think I was playing it here a second ago. Yeah, it was. Oh, so this actually has the lyrics, so let me do it. How in my life you like this? I'm a loser. Feel like a brand new person. I like that song. It was too low. Yeah, for good reason, bro. Don't want to get copyrighted. Someone in chat mentioned Peter being a teacher in the comics, and I realized maybe Peter could have been a tutor as a main side job in the movie. Maybe Peter gets science grants as a scholar for money. Maybe. I would not mind the mentor teacher route. I kind of always liked Peter having that job. When it turned out Sadie Sink is Jean Grey rumor is true, I was so ready to hate it. I had to will myself to stay, and I'm glad I did. Yeah, you said this already. You sent it again. Nice. Let's see here. Curious to know how that classroom scene with Spidey getting a flu shot would have played out if it was a quick clip. I think it was just the favor that he would have done for the hospital, right? He's like, well, we need your insurance. You need to pay for this bullet wound. But you're Spider-Man. Can you just hop into this class real quick, Flores? I think that's what the scene would have been. And if that is what it was, I'm glad they cut it out. It would have ruined the tension of the ending and the way they were wrapping the movie up. It didn't make sense. So I think that's how that scene happens. It was just his way of paying back the hospital for the free treatment of saving his life. I'll be a demonstrator for the kids. Let's see here. Do you think Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man will appear in Avengers, Doomsday, or Secret Wars? I would say if any movie, it's Secret Wars. Unrelated, but your vlogs, Spooky Mama, etc. videos are the best. Thank you for all the effort you put in. Also, PR in Brand New Day, Latinos en la casa. Yeah, Puerto Rico. What do you think of the absence of Uncle Ben? I think honestly, it's just something I just have to deal with. I think the MCU has now made it a strong enough case where Aunt May is his Uncle Ben, and why not? Aunt May is a very important character for Spider-Man in the comics, in a lot of different media. Even going into Spider-Man 2, Aunt May gives a lot of great speeches to Spider-Man and Peter in that movie. I think she's earned the right to be the Uncle Ben figure. I just hates how Uncle Ben is like Voldemort, where you can't even see his name. He can't even say his name. It's like just a mention of him would go a long way, but I'm totally fine with Aunt May being the Uncle Ben for this Spider-Man. Let's see here. Hey man, love the channel and I really love your videos. I love Brand New Day. I don't think Peter and MJ will fall in love again and they will do Gwen Stacy. I mean, I think that he could have a different relationship in this, whether it's a Black Cat or a Gwen Stacy. Like I said, they could do the thing where MJ breaks up with her boyfriend, but Peter is now in a relationship and he's like, "Oh, but I have a really good thing going on. It'd be really messed up to break up," or things like that. But I definitely think they're eventually going to lead to Peter and MJ being back come Spider-Man 6. I'm glad Brand New Day was street level and not multiverse. Same here. Be honest, Brand New Day swinging or TASM 2 swinging, which is better in your... I'm still TASM 2 swinging guy. There's just so many great scenes, like that opening scene with that, and even when he's doing the Electro and he like climbs the web and all that stuff. But Brand New Day had some good moments. Really good stuff in there. Chris, do you think Marvel has the cojones to kill off Andrew or Toby in Doomsday or Secret Wars before the soft reboot? Yeah, I think they probably do, especially because they're trying to just unify everything in one timeline. So if you kill Andrew and Toby, it's almost like you telling the audience, these guys are done. If I had to choose, as though he's my favorite Spider-Man, he's not my favorite movies, but my favorite Spider-Man, I think it'd be Andrew who they kill. If not Ned being Hobgoblin, who would be your ideal cast for Green Goblin? Timothy Chalamet. Nah, I don't know. Anybody who can pull off the role, man. I really don't have a name in mind, but I don't think they are going to do Green Goblin. Enjoyed the movies. The more I think about it, I feel like this movie represents what James Cameron was going to do with Spider-Man film. Yeah, based on yeah, there are some similarities with the James Cameron version that ended up in here. Make symbiote evolve like Spectacular. Easy sales. Yep. I could see them doing that. Cosmic Spider-Man in Secret Wars is my theory. That would be wild because that'd be a crazy character to see. I hope we get to see how Peter became Spider-Man. That would have been nice. I thought that's what was going to happen when I was first watching the movie. When Jean goes into his head, I was like, oh, here we go. This is how we're going to get Uncle Ben. This is how we're going to get him getting bit by the spider. She's going to explore all his memories, and we get to see it. Oh, okay, just the Aunt May speech. Still awesome, but that would have been an easy way to like reset and reboot the Spider-Man by establishing those iconic moments of the character. Let's see here. I read that Spider Noir was a massive success. Okay, good. I remember reading that whatchamacallit, critic-wise, yes. I remember seeing articles that the viewership was not good, but let me see. Okay, no, yeah, it looks like it ended up climbing. It reached 1.2 billion. Good. Okay, because the first couple days, the viewership was low. So I guess it was a show that grew over time. Awesome. Yeah, because I remember seeing the articles and I was like, no, they're never going to make another Spider-Verse show. I saw the movie today, but I really wish we saw Uncle Ben referenced somehow. I agree. At least just the tombstone next to May would have been nice. How many Spider-Tom movies do you think will there be? I think at the end of it, there's at least going to be the 6. Because of this new trilogy, I think there could definitely be 9 when it's all said and done, not including the Miles appearances. Do you think they will add heroes like Reptile? 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 I'm gonna pass on that one. Is there a cover you wish they recreated? Ooh, that's a good one. Was there any Hulk ones? Any like but there probably was a recreation. I think they did a lot of the good ones. I don't know. Let me look up. So I have to type slow with these gloves. Oh, you know what? The Brand New Day one I would have liked. Not that they needed to, but being that this was literally the comic based on Brand New Day, I would have liked that one. Just him on the side of the building with his camera, but again, he doesn't even have the camera job. Brand New Day. I like that one. Like this one, I think that would have been cool. Just seeing that mid mask on and all this with the camera in the back, that would have been a cool one to have thrown in there. I would have liked that. But they did a lot of good ones in there. Do you think they'll use Mr. Negative as a Peter villain or a Miles villain when they eventually introduce him? It could be a both situation. You could have Mr. Negative as a main villain that both affects Peter and Miles. Again, I think you could take inspiration from the Insomniac movies, where in the way Toby saved Peter from almost killing Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin at the end of No Way Home, Peter could be that for Miles. You know, Mr. Negative is clearly a villain, but Peter knows killing your villain is not the best way to go about getting your revenge and all that. Again, though, unfortunately, it's a similar motive and situation to Jean Grey in Brand New Day. It's like so many storylines they used in this movie that now don't make sense for what you could do with the next one, with the black suit or, you know, the upgraded powers. But it would kind of be the same situation. It'd be Peter saving Miles from making a mistake and killing Mr. Negative. But we'll see. Did you see the reports from Nexus Point about Adam Driver as William Stryker in X-Men and Tremel Tillman returning for those movies? Yeah, I did, and I'm happy to see it. Hey, 3C, did you see Spider-Man's hook shape in Brand New Day? Did you see Spider-Man's hook shape in Brand New Day? Like a fishing hook? No, I'm not sure what you mean, pal. Super disappointed we didn't get an insanely battle damaged Spider-Man suit. This movie, and love Jean Grey, but still, bum not true Spider-Man main villain. Yeah, especially with the practical suit, a really beat up suit would have looked so nice, especially because you had such a great explanation. Those ninjas could have been just ruining that suit, slices across the chest, this and that there, but they didn't do it. They didn't do it. Someone said, "Yeah, fishing hook, Chris." I don't know what other hook. Like, is there? I'm waiting for the chat. Anybody got an explanation? Yeah, nobody knows. No way did damage for Tom's Rogues Gallery. No Way Home did damage for Tom's Rogues Gallery. In a weird way, yes. No Way Home was awesome in that we got to see the return of a lot of those villains. But now that is going to count as MCU. That's going to count as Spider-Man encountering those villains. That's going to count as his Doc Ock, his Electro, his Green Goblin. And now we might not see them in Tom's version. Honestly, if they aren't going to use Tombstone again, they could use Hammerhead and still get a mob boss type villain. Honestly, they shot themselves in the foot with the reusing villain rule. I agree. Slightly unrelated. Are you going to stream the Wolverine game when it comes out next month? Yeah, I've said it over and over. I am definitely. I don't know if I'll finish the full game, but I will be streaming it. Also, my early chat, I only rank Far From Home last because it's the only Spider-Man movie not in New York. And I totally understand that. It wasn't, at least they tried something different, but I do miss the New York setting in the early Tom trilogy. Let's see. I wish it was more like Insomniac's Spider-Man story. I'll be honest with you. I think they're leading towards that. I think when Miles is introduced, it'll be a lot like the Insomniac story. And so, maybe. I saw it twice. I loved it, especially Punisher at the end, but I don't understand the ending with Ned. Do you think he knew Peter or him or Spidey? Hey, you seen my crash out. He knows that this Peter is Spider-Man, and now they're going to be friends. But he does not remember everything about their relationship. I'll probably get flamed for this, but my personal fan cast for Miles is Ravi Cabot Conyeres, especially since he's already on Disney's radar with Skeleton Crew. Ravi Cabot. Sure. I liked him in Skeleton Crew. I remember him. Why not? I guess. Oh, sorry, I didn't pull it up in here chat. Sorry. If you guys didn't know, he's already growing up though. I'm already seeing this photo. I'm like, he is already looking older. Is that still Miles' age? I'm not sure. I liked Skeleton Crew though. Good John Watts show. You skipped my super chat too. No, we answered yours, isn't it? I remember your photo. Guys, you got to be patient. There's a lot of super chats. Yeah, your super chat was about the Sausage Fest. You mentioned the Sausage Fest. Hey, you really want me to know about your Sausage Fest? I know it, buddy. The Ned handshake at the end, if you look at the background, it's jittering with Gene's powers. Whatever happened there, Gene affected Ned somehow. Gohan 55J2. Take a sensu bean and regroup, my friend. No. For Spider-Man 5, Johnny should appear because both Peter and Johnny are best friends in the comics, and their actors want them to cross paths. I mean, you would think so, but MCU Spider-Man likes to do the complete opposite sometimes and just do what they want to do. What would make most sense is, yes, Fantastic Four, Johnny Storm, and because it makes the most sense, they're going to go Ant-Man and Wanda. See you in Spider-Man 5. Bro, you skipped mine a while. Bro, I'm about to crash out, Snoop Dogg. I might give you the benefit of the doubt, Snoop Dogg, because this is the first time I think I'm seeing your profile pic. There's just a lot of chatty chats in here. Let's see, Snoop Dogg. I'm going through it, Snoop Dogg. Okay, Snoop Dogg, I see your photo. It says, "Hey man, love the channel. I really enjoyed your videos. Love Brand New Day. I don't think Peter and MJ." Yeah, I did talk about it, bro. I did. You're the one saying that Peter and MJ won't fall in love and that it'll be Gwen Stacy. I did do it. I love you guys. A lot of people are here. When you send a super chat, you're probably gonna wait an hour before I answer it because of how many super chats we got. Unfortunately. Thoughts on the idea that Paul is Tarantula? I thought that they were saying that he was Boomerang. I remember people saying that. I mean, it'd be funny if he was secretly a villain on the side, but that'd be too easy. I don't like the cliche in movies when they make the boyfriend of the girl you love an asshole. Make it hard for them. Make that guy a good guy and be like, damn, I can't just take another good guy's girl. Oh, well. It could just be that MJ realizes she loves Peter more. I mean, that's what happened with MJ in the Toby movies. That astronaut guy wasn't a bad guy. MJ just ended up loving Peter more than that guy. I love this movie, but for the next one, they have to stop experimenting with villains and just use classic ones. I agree. Maybe Ned, let's see here, says, maybe Ned found another Spidey on the app, which will be Miles from the animated universe. Love you, sir. But see, how would Ned find that? That's my thing, because the Spidey tracker is all about someone reporting a different person. And I don't know who's in space that is aware of Spidey tracker unless Ned is on his computer on Google Maps going, oh, I can zoom out? Is that Miles? I don't know, bro. Can you see people turning on this film in time? Yes. I mean, I already see it a little bit with the Jean Grey stuff. They're already arguing about how she's a murderer and she can't be redeemed and all these kind of things. I think the biggest thing to turn it is going to be, I guess, the Jean Grey inclusion. It really would just be that. Maybe what they end up doing with the Hulk in connection to this. But I already seen some people kind of, doing that. It happens with every movie nowadays. This Spider-Man movie is the best looking by far. Okay. I still think TASM 2, but it was a pretty great looking movie. Do you think Peter will get his own Mr. Dickovich, his daughter maybe flirting with her, and his version being an old lady with a stick? Nah, I don't think so. That's two Sam Raimi obscure original characters for that universe. No. What if we get Uncle Ben after Secret Wars in the new timeline? I think they've stuck to Aunt May, and that's just the way it's going to be. We have to let go of the Uncle Ben. The post-credit scene. What if the glitches is Miles? Yeah, see, I think that's kind of a believable hint. It does glitch like, the glitches in Miles. So possibly. Spider-Man 5 should explore the Peter side, just like how Batman 2 will reportedly explore Bruce's way inside, his job, his class, and I agree. I think they should explore those Peterisms in the next one. Brand New Day is Tom Holland's best Spider-Man movie. I agree. Replace Yelena scene with Black Cat and less weird. No, it doesn't make sense. Why would Black Cat have top secret information about crimes and things like that in New York? She would have information on maybe where some diamonds are, what banks to rob. I don't think Black Cat makes more sense than Yelena. I think the Yelena does make sense in that scene. The setting and the way that scene plays out, I was just kind of like, okay. When Peter gets the symbiote, he's gonna tell Ned, looking like little CEO Jr. Gonna cry? If they do a team up in Spider-Man, who would work best if they go the symbiote route? Because I can't see DD or DP really. Yeah, you're right. If they do the symbiote in the next movie, I can't really see Daredevil or Deadpool. I could see Daredevil more than Deadpool. But again, they're so random with the pairings and these storylines. Because again, would you ever have thought a Spider-Man movie with Punisher, Hulk, and Jean Grey as the main villain? No. So if there's some guy at Marvel trying to figure out how to make Deadpool and the symbiote work in the same movie, and it'll happen. Who would you rank? How would you rank the Tom Spidey post-credit scenes? Ooh, that's a good one. Well, I mean, his Spidey scenes are notorious. His post-credit scenes are notorious for not meaning or doing anything. I mean, the Scorpion scene barely got fulfilled now in Brand New Day. The No Way Home post-credit scene is never going to get fulfilled in the way it's intended with Tom Hardy's Venom and all that. It just means symbiote eventually. I forget what the Far From Home one is. Is that just revealing Nick Fury is a Skrull? And that led to Secret Invasion, so that's definitely at the bottom. Who wants that? Low key, the post-credit scenes of all the MCU Spider-Man movies, booty. Pure booty. I mean, yeah, I don't. Oh, the Jake Gyllenhaal one. That one at least did have impact. You're right. For Far From Home, you're right. Okay, so I will go Scorpion, number 1. Then I'll go this Spidey tracker. Just because, again, it's so vague. It could literally mean anything that they wanted to. Then I will go Mysterio Identity. No, actually, Mysterio Identity second. No, Mysterio Identity first, then Scorpion, then Spidey tracker, then the rest, bro. It's just, yeah. Ned is not going to be Hobgoblin. He's just Genki. I mean, you're probably right. I know it's such a long shot, and they've made him such a joke, random character, but I think that's what could make it brilliant. If Destin wants to prove how great he is as a director and a storyteller for the Spider-Man, turning the joke, silly character of Ned into Hobgoblin, a serious, dark, meaningful threat for Peter Parker, bro, you cooked. You did it. So to me, it's that. It's just that obstacle and that great payoff, or that possible great story that is there. But I realize there's a 10% chance. It's very slim, and even then, it might not be done right. First super chat, but you miss mine for real. Love you. Oh my God, fam. We're just gonna go through every super chat and see. I'm scrolling, boss. I'm scrolling. What is this? Is a guy with a white shirt and a gun? I definitely need my glasses for this one. I'll be willing to look. It's hard to mention. I'm a loser, baby. Yeah, I don't see one, fam. I don't see one. Y'all are just tricking me at this point. Scroll twice, buddy. Sorry, love you. If Brand New Day made enormous money, what would Spider-Man 5 and 6 make? I think this might be the peaking point. This might be the peaking point. Oh, thank you. It was just a joke. All right, awesome. First, yeah, guys, my brain is fried at this point. Thank you, mods. I didn't realize. I think this might be peaking point for Spider-Man. I don't know how much more money you can make with this. This just might be the level that he is at now. But then again, I thought that with No Way Home. So, sky's the limit with Spidey. What if in the next movie the villain forces Tom Holland to choose to save MJ and her new BF or Ned and make Ned feel betrayed from not only his idol but his friends? Tom, so kind of like the Dark Knight with Rachel and Two-Face. Wow, why did you save me? No, it's okay, Bruce. I'm fine with. I literally just joined my theory on the post-credit scene is that it's setting up Miles due to a glitch. But I do think it's possible it could be Tom or Toby. Yeah, see, like it's vague enough it could be either or. So yeah, I'm fine with either or. Chris, is the new Spider-Man cited in the oh yes I am. Son, here we go. Do you think Bully Holland could tell MJ I'm the boyfriend here, not him? Gonna put some dirt in your eye. That would be sick. Hold him up and put him up against the wall. That'd be so great. And then he gets his own bully thing. And that's it, bros and girls. We are done. The sun is about to leave the chat. I'm gonna leave you with this, homies. Oh yeah, it has been nice talking with all you guys. We gotta hear one more trying to keep me here, not let you leave. Oh, I am leaving. Check me out. Have me good. Goblin Blom you. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Lovely to see your beautiful faces. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful weekend, that what's left of it. And I'll see you Monday with more videos. Love your guys' faces. Peace out.